Arkansas. At Bale Chevy, we heard you loud and clear. You asked for it, and now it's back. Drive new every 2. That's right, only at Bale can you drive a brand new Chevy every 2 years. Just pick one out, drive it for 2 years, then trade it in for a new model or walk away owing nothing. Drive new every 2. Just another reason it's better at Bale. Come see us today or shop BaleChevrolet.com.
As a family, the community's given a lot to us, so it's our opportunity to give back. And one way I do that is by coaching these boys. I love watching them learn. I love sitting in the huddle with them and watching them go out and do what it is that we've been working on. The boys have to learn how to work as a group and work as a team to win the game. It's the same thing at the dealership. It takes everybody every day to service the community.
It's better at Vail.
Welcome into the week, I guess now 11 playoff edition of the Coach's Corner with Pulaski Academy head coach Anthony Lucas here on PA Live, courtesy of the Natural State Sports Network, brought to you as always by our great friends at Bale Chevrolet. I'm Kyle Sutherland alongside the voice of the Bruins, Tristan Harlen. Coach, it is playoff time, and I know it took another tough one on the chin the other night, but I would imagine that the message this week is probably similar to what you had said after Highland Park. It's a new type season. We're 0-0 again, starting conference play. Now heading into the playoffs as the 5 seed going into Fayetteville on Friday. I would imagine that would probably be the message to your guys, is just that it is a fresh slate.
Yeah, it was. And talking with them yesterday as we get ready to prepare for the week, it's been a rough weekend, and just going back and looking at that game on Friday. But we got to pick ourselves up because we're 3-7, but we're going to the playoffs. And again, like you said, it's 0-0. And the kids seem pretty, they seem like their dauber wasn't down. They seem, pretty upbeat. They're looking forward to going to Fayetteville and try to repeat what we did last year, even though everything is a lot different this year among our team and their team as well. So, yeah, it was positive. It was a lot of positive. I was, energetic, and, I was being realistic with them too. So I always try to be real with them. That's one thing, I learned from Coach Kelly, man, is, you want to be real with them. Just be honest and straight up front. We know we have to do so. Yep.
Coach, you guys made a quarterback change late into the game against Little Rock Christian. Of course, Aaron Orgel did not have the game we're accustomed to seeing. Was there a little bit of issue in practice the week prior leading up to the game? I mean, what overall went not necessarily wrong, but what went on with that change?
Well, Aaron had a bad game. On Thursday, it was a couple plays that I noticed that we were calling that he had, he missed a couple of them. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and get this out. And I think it's actually in our Thursday's practice. Yep, it was the Thursday practice because I had to start the period over. And I said, Aaron, it's like, guys, we got to calm down. I up down the whole team. It was really bad because he was missing wide open guys. And again, that's Thursday. We stopped and cleaned up. He got better when we restarted it. But we get to the game. I don't know. I saw, I guess, a little bit of the West Monroe game in Aaron, like a little bit of nervousness come out, even a little bit of Highland Park too. And he didn't seem comfortable, and that happens. And so we had to do something because, it was a big game for us. Losing to them hurts. It really does. But beating them doesn't make our season. Our goal is to win a state championship. And Little Rock Christian, of course, with the private school rivalry that they call it, is big around here. So we had to make a change. And, William Sabota came in, and as William always has he been doing with the past 4 games, he comes in and brings us a spark. So kind of got Aaron's attention there and thought that it was better at that time, but unfortunately, we ended up losing the football game. And I'm going to take my hats off to Christian. Coach Grimm and them, I've been watching them. We're looking at them all year, some of the games. I knew that they had a good football team. And, it was senior night there, and they played with a lot of emotions. And when I went back and watched the film a couple of times, they outplayed us. They really wanted it more. So, and it showed. And it hurt us. But you can't. I think I told you, Tristan, we can't turn the ball over like that and expect to win. So.
Talking about those turnovers, I know the 2 pick sixes, when you think about it, if you take those 2 out, I think at maybe halftime, maybe it's around I can't remember the exact score, but of course you guys cut it to 7. So I guess it was maybe about a 2 touchdown lead.
It was 10, we were down 10 points, 35-25. Unfortunately,
yeah, so I was
put up that many
14.
points. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and then I think they scored, but I know that later, or at least at part of the second half, you guys had cut it to a touchdown. I mean, it was right there. But I know that, as hard as that pill is to swallow with, the turnovers and things like that, was there some sort of silver lining in knowing, hey, we threw 2 pick sixes in the first half, but Javion was going off, the offense was scoring points. Is there a little bit of a silver lining in that you take those 2 in the red zone away and you're right there in it, and you still were right there in it regardless?
Yes, Kyle, you're so right. That's what I told them when we went in at halftime. I was like, God, take away the three picks that we threw, because they first 2 of them were pick 6, but then they capitalized off of the first one that we threw too. So you take that away, and we're right there. We're in that football game, but they just build off of that momentum, and So that was all. It was all positive in the locker room. I was a little frustrated, of course, with those pick sixes and the turnovers. You never get happy because you saw how Javion was running the football. We had opportunities that we missed. Even we missed Mason Greathouse open down the middle of the field, and then we missed Chase, but we got a penalty on that one with Chase when the kid grabbed him. So there were so many opportunities there that we came up short, and it hurt us. But yeah, no doubt that was very good motivation, to say, as for me to go in the locker room and say, hey, take away those picks. We're in this football game. So,
Coach, of course, this week going into the Fayetteville matchup, you look at point of the game last week where Jay Ricks kind of got tied up with a couple players, maybe a couple coaches, and he was trying to explain to the referee what happened. And later on down I think it may have been the same drive, they didn't call a defense pass interference on him where the home crowd wanted it. Then you ended up coming onto the field talking to the white hat. But how important is it this week to kind of tell your guys to watch their emotions, because Fayetteville may be looking to capitalize on that?
It's very important. And Tristan, that's something that I talk to our guys day in and day out. Holding your emotions, just come to the sideline with us, and we will handle that. We will take care of the things that you're worrying about, or your emotions, and don't get stupid penalties. Of course, I thought it was a bad call by calling that pass interference on Jay Ricks when they literally yanked him down. But, the referees don't see it all, and they fans and their sideline, which I know been known for a while playing over there, they are really on the refs hard and, trying to get those calls. So, yeah, but I preach to our kids, keep your composure. I hate the undisciplined penalties where if a guy takes a cheap shot on us, I tell him, don't, be smart in your retaliation, but don't get us a penalty that's going to hurt us, because it's always the second guy that gets caught. And, unfortunately, that did take a toll on us, because I saw, we kind of lost our focus. We were upset, and I blame myself too, because I really got upset with some of the calls that they made too. But that, you got to learn. We all, myself included, and our coaches and our players, got to learn how to keep that stuff under control. But Jay and I had a good talk, and he was just frustrated with some of the things that they were saying to him when he was on that sideline, and they shoved him over there and did some things a little extra. He was a little upset, but Jay's going to have to learn to keep his composure. So, yeah, and all of our kids when they're faced with situations like that.
I want to go back to reference to just a second ago, but Javion, we've seen some electric plays from him throughout his career as a Bruin. But I think the other night, I know that, it's unfortunate that kind of performance was in a losing effort, but nonetheless, when you talk about what he was able to do individually, I mean, and we talked about William and the spark that he provided coming in at quarterback, but Javion, the way that he and both Jackson Ward were running, I mean, it was kind of a running backs game on both sides.
Javion has been great all year. I just think back, if we would have had him healthy all year from last year, probably would have been a little bit better outcome on things. So, man, I know you guys have been to our practices, but JV, the way he plays on Friday nights and including this past Friday, he runs like that in practice. It just carries over to the football game. And that's why he's been able to take care of he takes care of his body well. He's eating better, and he plays with the tenacity to win. When that ball gets in his hand, Javion wants to score the football every time. And that's what I love about him. And really didn't surprise me. And I'm very impressed with our offensive line too, the way they, open up holes. But he ran with the sense of urgency. He ran as if, I like to say, he ran hungry, like he's trying to eat, and so proud of how he's playing for us right now. And then as we move into this first playoff game in Fayetteville, if you guys go back and watch that game from last year, we didn't have a healthy Javion. So I'm looking forward to having a healthy Javion this week. And, I think we're going to be down Landon O'Donnell again. He's having some more issues with that injury on him. But our kids, they seem to be ready. And, I'll know more by Wednesday. Looking forward to getting back to our good practice today on the field and go from there. But Javion is, guys, he runs hard in practice, and it carries over to the game.
Coach, first round of the playoffs in Fayetteville, you got possibly a top 5 quarterback matchup in the state in 7A with Aaron Orgel, Hank Hendricks. I mean, what's going to be the preparation on your defense look like? I mean, I know Hartford Lowe at one point led the state interceptions. Max Burns has been making good plays. Andrew Manning, same thing. And Brylan Ussery, who's already got a couple block punts on 4th down. I mean, what's the kind of message to the defense looking like right now?
Well, we're going to have to be aggressive. We're going to have to put some pressure on that quarterback for sure. And, and keep him contained. They hit us, Christian hit us last week on the zone read, a couple of times. And that the one time that it hurt us in the second half is we didn't have any guy, our defensive end went inside instead of containing. But we got to control that quarterback. He has a great arm. He got a couple of talented receivers out there. Offensively, I don't think that they're as strong from watching film. They're as strong as they were though last year. And then same thing on defensively, but what they do it well. He likes to throw the quick little hitches and, out to the receivers. We call them, hitch routes, a stop, and the quick screens. But he will stretch the field deep throwing the football. He has a really good arm, and he's a really good quarterback. But if our defense can put pressure on him and just, I think if we can get him rattled early, I think we'll have a chance, and we're gonna have to tackle that running back they have too. He's pretty good, and that kid, I thought that kid should have played more last year when we played him. I think he was coming kind of injured a little bit, but defense gonna have to play big this week. And then when you talk about, I know you didn't bring this up, but offensively, man, we can't turn the football over like that. That just can't happen, and give them touchdowns, give them plays, because, we'll be playing behind again, chasing from behind just like we did last week. So we're working to fix those kinks, and looking forward to getting up to Fayetteville and playing. We have a lot of former players that'll be at that game. I have a few friends that's coming, so it'll be exciting, So, and I know that they're going to be coming for us, gentlemen. After last year, they're going to be ready. Yeah. The linebacker, Will Caston. I don't know if y'all know Will Caston, who's been offered by the Hogs. Marvin, his dad and I, we're like brothers, real close. He's my fraternity brother.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Son, Will was really hurt last year. He's been on me all year. So they're going to be ready to play us this year. So,
yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up with this one, Coach. I got a chance to, for those that haven't, if you haven't seen Coach Lucas and Madre Hill at the Touchdown Club on Monday, it was a great segment then with David Basil and them. And one of the things that you talked about, I think it's kind of starting to go viral on social media, at least within Arkansas lines, is talking about how important it is, especially in today's culture, not really just in college, but just sports in general, to have that good relationship with your players. Yeah. And you think about PA, particularly since you've been there throughout the 21st century, obviously this kind of season is not something that most are accustomed to. And when you're winning, it's easy to be happy and upbeat and have good and all those different things. But how important have those player relationships been, and particularly a season like this one that you guys have been enduring, and just the closest that you have with your group?
I think it's very important because you want the kids want to know that you care about them, not just the guys that. And I say this: the team, all players. You want to show them. Of course, you do have your few little favors, but you try to. You just, when they dealing with something, I like to ask the kids, even throughout practice, I go around. If I've received a bad report on them and for class or missing, being late and stuff, I'm a little upset at that kid, but I go to him, what's going on with this class? But man, I really think building relationships are huge. And this year has been tough. And I think this is the year, Kyle, that I've asked a lot of the kids, how you doing? Is everything all right? We okay. We okay. Yes, it's been a season. I know. I feel it too. But let's keep going. So, having a relationship with kids is awesome, because you never know what they're thinking, especially in a time like this, and in a year like this that I've never experienced at Pulaski Academy. My 14 years being here. So, and man, I know it's easier said than done, guys, because I'm a people person. So I always like to love on the kids and, just to let them know, it's bigger than – I love coaching football, man. I'm so grateful and blessed, but I love building the relationships with them because this is going to be taken away from you one day. But getting the education from this school and moving on in life and the way you treat people, man, is very important. Think about at your job when some days you're not going to, as you get older, you're not going to want to go to that job. If you had something done at home, family that's ailing you, but you got to get up the next day and go to work no matter what it is. It's important. So that's why having that relationship, letting them know that you're going to have down times in your life like this, but it's your character, your true character shows when you're being beat down. So it's huge.
Good stuff. Well, that'll wrap us up for this week. Now we're in survive and advance mode, man. Just get to the second round. That's what it's all about, as you said, or as we said at the top of the show. It's 0-0. It's a new season again. So
I love it, Kyle. Survive and advance. Can I steal that one from you?
Oh yeah, I can't tell you that.
I'm like the NBA and everything else. Win or go home. But yeah. Survive and you advance. I like that. I'm taking that today with me. So
I can't say that I made it. I mean, Tristan's heard it, I'm sure, with I usually hear it with basketball tournament, whether it's NCAA or that's usually when I typically hear of that. But that's where we're at right now as we take on the Fayetteville Purple Dogs. I believe it's at Jordan Stadium that we'll be headed to, or that we'll be kicking off here shortly here in a bit. So
it'll be a great atmosphere too, man, and the weather. Weather's should be a lot. It's not going to be as cold as it was last year, as I see. But, yeah, man, we're looking forward to it. And as I always say, thank you guys for the opportunity. You guys have been always awesome through this tough season, man. And I'm just grateful for you guys interviewing and what you guys have done all year, man. Hopefully we'll be back next Tuesday. That's the plan, to be back next Tuesday. So,
that's the goal for sure.
Right, let's just say be back next week.
That's right. Yeah, next week.
Y'all can edit that one. God bless you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
That'll do.
Arkansas. At Bale Chevy, we heard you loud and clear. You asked for it, and now it's back. Drive new every 2. That's right, only at Bale can you drive a brand new Chevy every 2 years. Just pick one out, drive it for 2 years, then trade it in for a new model or walk away owing nothing. Drive new every 2. Just another reason it's better at Bale. Come see us today or shop BaleChevrolet.com.
As a family, the community's given a lot to us, so it's our opportunity to give back. And one way I do that is by coaching these boys. I love watching them learn. I love sitting in the huddle with them and watching them go out and do what it is that we've been working on. The boys have to learn how to work as a group and work as a team to win the game. It's the same thing at the dealership. It takes everybody every day to service the community.
It's better at Bale.
Okay, And hello, welcome to the start of the 2025 football playoffs as we begin the Quest to War Memorial here from Harmon Field in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Your Pulaski Academy Bruins are looking to beat the hometown Purple Dogs in round one of the playoffs. Here in the booth, as always, Tristan Harlen here with Blake Amsler and Kyle Sutherland. Blake, welcome back. I know we missed you last week, but guys, it's playoff time for the Bruins.
Crazy that it's here, and the Bruins also played a playoff game here last year, and it turned out well in their favor, certainly hoping to do that again tonight. The last time that I can recall a 6 seed beating a 3 seed, at least in the 7A playoffs, is when Central came in here in 2020 and beat Fayetteville, upset them. So obviously the Bruins in that position, as a 5 seed coming in, hoping to do that as well. So that's just kind of where we're at with it right now, and it's a beautiful night. Obviously got a lot going on in Fayetteville. Got the soccer, NCAA tournament. Of course, the Razorbacks are playing Sanford, so really busy over in this area.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking on the way up about last year's game. It went down to the wire in the fourth quarter, ended up going into overtime, and then PA pulling it out. So, again, we were kind of talking as well of, like, how big of a victory that felt like last year of, like, PA's first year in 7A. No one believes in them. They actually end up having a really good year, getting to the semifinals, obviously, but that first playoff win coming up here into this beautiful stadium, beautiful indoor facilities and whatnot around, like, it was a pretty satisfying win to walk away from that win last year in the stadium.
Right, of course, Pulaski Academy comes into this game after last week's loss against Little Rock Christian, where kind of a little bit of a struggle from sophomore quarterback Aaron Orgel, which William Svoboda ended up making the spark for the team. But now it's round one for the playoffs. And, guys, I got to ask, what are the Bruins got to do to win tonight?
Well, first and foremost, I think you look at these two offenses, and Fayetteville is one. They've averaged about 40 points a game, or actually it's 40 points throughout the season, 50 in the last 3. So they got beat pretty bad by Bentonville, and then they won their last 3 games pretty handily. So an offense that's really clicking on all cylinders, led by Hank Hendricks, one of the top quarterbacks, not just in the state but in the country for 2027. And this is going to be one. Both of these defenses have struggled throughout this season. PA really in the back half has, I think, taken a step back defensively, looked a little bit better in the first half there, but I could see this on paper being a shootout. Again, two very phenomenal offenses that we've seen at times this season. And
you see there on the keys to victory there, like, get off the field on third down. I mean, PA's defense, like you said, has struggled a little bit in the back end, but really they've played pretty decently those first couple plays of a series, and then it ends up being they may have a 3rd and long or something. Then it ends up we let a running back loose, we let a wide receiver loose in the back end to pick up those long third downs. So I do think that's a huge key tonight is, like, playing well early, getting them in bad down and distance to where Fayetteville's in a passing situation, but then you got to make your play on third down, or if it ends up being a 4th and short or something, and get off the field.
Right. Well, what about the Purple Dogs? What do they need to do to, I guess, preserve home field advantage?
Well, they got a lot of speed, so they're going to need to get their receivers out in space. I mean, you think about Katavian Taylor, Kenwan Johnson. Kenwan Johnson scored on the second play of the game against Harbor last week on a long pass. So Hank Hendricks really knows how to spread the ball around to these guys. And then you've got 2 running backs in Caleb Johnson and Terrence Garden that each have just over 500 yards each, and then 18 combined touchdowns and only 3 fumbles with that. So they take care of the football and really just getting those receivers out in space. And then defensively, PA just has to tackle better. That's really kind of the case that we saw last week a lot. I know Jackson Ward, the running back for Little Rock Christian, had a big game, as did our Javion Walker. But you got to make sure and wrap up. And again, it's all about making sure, if you, of course, with the Fayetteville side, they've obviously got to make sure and do that with Mason Greathouse, obviously with what Chase Hancock can do, and getting these receivers or getting the ball around to PA's receivers.
Yeah, you hit most of the points that I was going to make, honestly. We were talking about it earlier, and it's just like both teams I feel like have really good skill positions. But to me, like you said, the defenders that are out in the space, whether it's corners or safeties coming down or outside linebackers coming out to tackle some of these receivers on bubble screens or quick hitches or anything like that, to me those can be either negative yard plays where they come up and make a good play, or the offensive player breaks the tackle and it ends up being a 30, 40, or even longer play. So things to look out for sure.
Right. Well, Kyle, you mentioned that, there's a lot of things going on around the campus of Fayetteville High School, of course, next door to the University of Arkansas's Razorback soccer complex where they're playing in the NCAA tournament. The men's team's playing Sanford tonight. But, guys, real quick before this game gets underway, I got to say it's been a fun year one here for PA Live, courtesy of the Natural State Sports Network.
Absolutely. We sure hope, like Coach Lucas said on the coaches, so hopefully we live to see another week, as it is winter go home now. But it's gone by super fast. And look, look, we've talked about it multiple times. This is not a year that PA is accustomed to having, but it has been a blast getting to watch these kids. We've seen a lot of good things. We've seen a lot of growth in sophomore Aaron Orgel that we touch on every week. So really just about, getting these sophomores and juniors, so many of them that are playing, just continuing to get them reps and more experience for the future, regardless of how tonight goes.
Yeah, and it's like we said, it's playoff time, and weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
It's not out of the cards completely. PA's already been in here once last year and got the job done. Nothing stopping them this year.
Yeah, survive in advance is the name of the game tonight for the Bruins. But we touched a little bit about it. But what about the quarterback matchup for Aaron Orgel and Hank Hendricks tonight?
Well, you got a very experienced quarterback in Hank Hendricks that moved in. Of course, his dad, Che Hendricks, is on the Razorback staff, and they moved from Bernie, Texas, a little suburb of San Antonio, and he helped Bernie to the state championship last year, or I think it was the semifinals. It was a deep run, I know that. So the fact that he had that starting experience as a sophomore, I think also played some as a freshman at Bernie, and then he comes in and you see that first game when he puts 400 yards up on Cabot, what he can do. He can really sling it down the field. Not a super fast quarterback, but certainly can move around well.
And you said he had quite a few offers as well.
Oh, yeah. He's a top one, I believe a top 100 or top 150 player in the class of 2027. Got Arkansas, Ole Miss, all kinds of big-time offers and a big-time arm.
So it's kind of the battle of the senior quarterback that has the offers and maybe a sophomore that's looking ahead maybe to what could be in a couple years.
Pulaski Academy has won the toss and elected to receive.
And they're going to get the ball first, and we need to see one of those drives like we saw against Conway, like we saw against Southwest, where they get off to a really fast start and really just keep that consistency. But, guys, I'll tell you, going back to I was talking to the color commentator, Blair Cartwright for Fayetteville when we were outside before, and that's one thing that we both said. On paper, this is certainly going to be a shootout, but just we'll see how it goes once we kick off.
Right, the number 1, number 2 quarterback in the state, according to Max Preps, Aaron Orgel and Hank Hendricks. Hank Hendricks coming into this game with over 3,000 passing yards. But, guys, enough about the quarterbacks. What about Javion Walker's game last week against Little Rock Christian?
It was phenomenal, and I said it right before halftime. That was one of the weirder first halves because PA had 2 pick sixes, but we're still only down by 10. We're very much in the game. Then they closed the gap to 7 in the second half, and Little Rock Christian was able to run away with it. But like you said, Tristan, in a losing effort, that was Javion's maybe his best performance as a Bruin, but certainly his best performance this season.
Yeah, I think he ended up with, 225 on the ground?
He was over,
like
and he had 140 or something in the first half.
Yeah,
so.
And it's, you think in the grand scheme of things, most teams that have a running back over 225 in a losing effort does not happen very often. So, but yeah, still, Javion's a guy that he kind of went through a little short kind of slump in the middle of the year, I would say, where he didn't get as many carries as maybe he wanted. But now towards the end of the year, I think they've really leaned into him even more and counting on him not only in the run game but the passing game as well. He usually has 5-10 catches a game. Yeah.
Right, of course, the Purple Dogs did take the field wearing their purple lids, their purple uniforms, and their black bottoms. Of course, the traditional look for Fayetteville, and as Pulaski Academy gets ready to take the field, they're wearing their gold lids, white jerseys, and navy bottoms. Of course, as we did mention, they will receive the ball first, so we'll get to see sophomore quarterback Aaron Orgel, Javion Walker, Max Conine, and guys like that to begin tonight's festivities.
One thing, not just the fact that PA is the lower seed, but I think that really just they've got nothing to lose here just because the simple fact they come in 3-7. Now, I'm sure Coach Dick, just like Coach Lucas, is a state champion head coach. One of the Fayetteville won 7A in 2023. Of course, both former Razorbacks. And I know that he has his team prepared as far as not overlooking PA. But from the outside looking in, you think, a 3-7 team, they're down compared to what they're used to. So PA can use that as motivation. And really, to me, the pressure's more on Fayetteville.
The Bruins have taken the field. Of course, they're right across from us in the visitor section. A lot of fans traveled with the Bruins tonight to watch this first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's good to see. Of course, sorry, I forgot to turn my alarm off there.
Come on, Kyle.
No, it's good to see.
Day, Kyle.
Hey, there's my mulligan for the night. But good to see you here. And it was kind of tough to get here. Talking about everything that's going on tonight, it was a little bit of a traffic jam out there, so had to wait. But MLK was pretty packed once we came in.
Yeah, it definitely gets packed, especially just on a normal Friday night with college traffic in general. But then you add the games that are going on and playoff high school games. It does get trafficy out there.
Never fear with Blake Amsler behind the wheel of the vehicle.
There you go. I'll hashtag that later.
So it looks like Javion and Bryce Gittens will be the two returners for Pulaski Academy. So we wait the opening kick from Fayetteville. With that, it is now playoff time for Pulaski Academy. Ball will roll out of bounds. So it will be PI roofing penalty flag as the game opens up. The Bruins will take over with great field position early.
Yeah, we love that. That's a good start, going out of bounds. Smart play there by, I think that was, Bryce Gittens in the corner. Just kind of keeping an eye on it as it gets towards the goal line. And that should be a good start on the 35.
Yeah, and you just want to see what you talked with Coach Lucas before the game and what we kept harping on going into conference play. It's an entirely new season. Everybody's 0-0 right now, and that's the mentality that Orgel has to have on this first drive.
One person that's going to be out tonight is going to be Landon O'Donnell at right guard. You see Ethan Reynolds moving in at center and Owen Duke sliding out to his right guard spot. So one thing to keep an eye on there is the interior of the O-line tonight.
So Javion's in the backfield with Orgel. Chase the man in motion. They're going to fake the flip to Chase. Throws it to Javion, but Javion could not haul it in. Incomplete. That's how the first play is recorded of tonight's first-round matchup between the Purple Dogs and the Bruins.
A little bit of a tough catch right there. Javion was trying to catch it and then turned back around, had a couple of defenders in the area.
Yeah, I like the misdirection, though. You had Chase coming back this way, kind of a fake reverse, giving Aaron a little bit more time back there in the backfield. That'll be key tonight.
So second down after the incompletion. Javion, the man in motion. Aaron stands in the pocket. Pressure coming, and he gets sacked. That's going to be sacked by number 17, Caden Walters.
Yeah, kind of an awkward play there by Aaron. He kind of felt like he was about to run and get out of there, but then stood, and the defensive lineman was on the ground, got back up, and made the play.
I was going to say that it seemed like he kind of froze, wasn't really sure what he was going to do, and had Javion coming out of the backfield, and by the time that he was on the ground, that was when Javion had gotten himself open.
Be 3rd and 18 for the Bruins. Aaron throws it crossbody to Chase. Chase hauls it in. Not enough for the first down, but they did get a good amount of yardage on that play. It'll be 4th and manageable. We're going to see what Coach Lucas decides to do in the first 4th down of tonight's ball game.
Yeah, when you said manageable, I thought the same thing. I was like, it gets you closer to the 40-yard line here. It's about a 4th and 7 coming up, so it looks like they are going to go for it.
Don't forget the leg Aaron Orgel has in the punting game. Looks like they'll go for it. Aaron throws it across the middle, incomplete, intended for Chase Hancock, guarded closely by Christian Bailey. It'll be a turnover on downs for the Bruins, and the Purple Dogs will take over with phenomenal territory to start their game.
Yeah, a little bit high ball there, and I know he's going to want that one back. He had Javion there on the sideline, pretty much wide open.
You know, Javion out of the backfield being a receiver was such a huge weapon for us against some of those bigger defense that we saw against Bryant and Conway. He really came out of his shell there.
Hendricks calls for the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it low. They're going to say incomplete. It's intended, I believe, for number 11, Jaden Nicholson.
That's some of the stuff you're going to see from this Fayetteville offense. They're going to run a lot of quick hitches. It seems like a lot of the stuff that I saw on film, they run some either like hitch routes or they'll just go deep.
I'll throw a quick little receiver screen there, and tackle is going to be made almost simultaneously with the throw.
Yeah, good tackle there from Bailey Lowe. That was exactly what we talked about in the pregame is you got those hitch routes right there. That was a 2-yard pickup because he had to come up and made a great tackle. If he misses that tackle, could easily turn into 20 yards really quickly.
And this is where they really have to get off the field on 3rd down.
Yep.
They gave him 2 on the screen, so it's 3rd and 8 from the 36-yard line. Hendricks will drop back, throws a deep ball near the end zone. Incomplete, had a man, but he heard the footsteps behind him. 4th down coming up for Fayetteville.
Massive break.
Big
It goes
one.
without saying for PA right there, but there's the arm of Hank Hendricks.
Yeah, he put that one in the breadbasket too, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a perfect throw.
Charles Whitlow, the receiver that dropped that touchdown.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back.
So 4th down for Fayetteville. Looks like they'll keep the offense on the field. 3 receivers, bottom half of your screen.
PA showing blitz and Fayetteville trying to adjust.
Hendricks calls for the snap, getting pressure, rolls out, still on his feet, stops, and he's still going, throws it back across the field, incomplete, turnover on downs for the Bruins defense.
Massive stand right there, and that's one thing you'll see from Hendricks a lot. This is a really good offensive line. They've obviously got some size to them. It is a line full of seniors, all 5 of them, so very experienced, and they're good at giving Hank Hendricks time. He did a good job of rolling there, but PA did a great enough job to make sure and get enough pressure on him and cause that bad throw.
Yeah, way to stay with it there. I think you see TJ Logan down here applying a little bit of pressure, but heads-up play by Brylan Usler. He was actually in coverage, but saw him starting to roll out and went and chased him down to make that throw a little bit harder. Great stop on the first drive.
They hand it off to Javion. Javion gets a couple on that play. It's going to bring up 2nd and possible 5.
Yeah, good start to the drive there. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't look like much, but turns into be 5 or 6 yards. Keep you on rhythm. Keep Aaron calm back there.
Something that Coach Lucas mentioned in the coaches show was that last year they did not have Javion, so excited to see what kind of a game the tailback has in this one. Second and 4 for the Bruins after the run by Walker. And give it to him again. Fighting for extra yardage, but it'll be thrown back by a host of Purple Dogs. 3rd down coming up for Pulaski Academy.
Luckily, that side judge over on the far side kind of kept it at a no gain. I thought we were going to lose a yard or 2 there, but gave us a pretty decent spot, so it's only about 3rd and about 4 coming up. Notice how wide Chase is there at the top of the screen with, I think that's Conine. Could look for some sort of slant or crossing route.
Throws it to Gittens. Gittens gets popped, but he hauled it in enough for the 1st down of the Bruins. And what a play by Bryce Gittens as he took a hard hit from C.J. Bailey.
Yeah,
Great job to hold on to that one.
Yeah, great coverage down there, but even better catch.
Bruins looking to get on the Fayetteville side of the 50 for the first time tonight. So now they're going to hand it off to Javion. Javion still on his feet, rumbling, bumbling, and was stumbling, but now they're going to get blown dead.
One thing I noticed there, I don't know if we'll have a replay of it, but this outside linebacker on this side, you'll see him kind of creep down, and he ended up blitzing. Let's see if we get it here on the replay. Well, it's a little bit later. But keep an eye on that later. If he keeps creeping down, we can easily throw a little screen pass out here to Mason or Bryce and have some really good yardage.
So 2nd and 5 for the Bruins here. Play action. Aaron throws a deep ball to Gittens up the sideline, and Gittens drops it.
Ooh.
Oh, man. It's a tough one, man. Great effort. Just couldn't quite get up and get it.
Get it? Gittens it.
There you go. I love the play on words.
But, yeah, pretty decent throw from Aaron there. Got to his hands. I guess you probably could ask him to lead it a little bit more and kind of keep him in line. He had to turn around a little bit, but a ball Bryce is definitely going to want to bring down.
So 3rd and 5 after the incompletion. I'll throw it to Bryce on the receiver screen. He has room to run before he's tackled, but he'll have enough for the 1st down. The tackle was made by Will Price, the senior linebacker.
Getting Gittens involved early again. He's been really, really good all season.
His second 1st down catch of this drive. We just love the Gittins references.
Yeah.
You can't get away from them.
Getting
You can't
Gittins.
get away from them, guys.
So 1st and 10 from the Fayetteville 40. Walker, the man in motion, leaves Orgel as the lone man in the backfield. Orgel throws it off his back foot, incomplete, almost intercepted. It was intended for Chase Hancock. The DB tried to bait him into throwing it, but he didn't get there in time. It'll be 2nd down.
And I've got to think Coach Thrash saw a little something there, because when he motioned Javion out into the slot there was actually good room for him to run a seam right up the middle and split those two safeties if he had a little bit more time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get back to something similar to that.
Orgel takes a snap, throws it to Bryce. Bryce tackled down near the 30. We're going to see where they spot him, but he may have enough for the 1st down.
He's going to be just a little bit short,
tad short.
about a yard.
But yeah, I see Bryce coming out, get a little breather there. This has been the Bryce drive right now. This is 3rd or 4th catch.
Look for maybe Swoboda or Greathouse to get involved here.
Yep.
3rd and 1. High snap. They're going to hand it off to Javion. Javion trying to get shifty. He has enough for the 1st, but a PI roofing penalty flag will come out.
I think it's either going to be a hold or hands to the face, maybe.
Yeah, that's not a good area to have it in for us.
Where that was thrown, I'm thinking maybe a hands to the face, but could very well be a holding.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense.
Okay.
15 yards from the end of the run. Will result
So
in
it was to the face.
Something to the face.
Yep.
The face mask. So we'll take that 1st down.
So that penalty will put them in the Caldwell Toyota red zone. So it'll be on the 16-yard line of Fayetteville. 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
Got a lot of room in the middle here for Javion. I think this is still a runnable down.
Aaron's going to roll out, throws it into tight coverage, but I believe it was hauled in. It was by Bryce Gittins. Or no, that was Chase Hancock on the reception.
Yeah, that was a great job to fit that in a tight window, but in most cases you don't want him to do that. But got to give Orgel credit. It was a really good job to put it right in that spot.
Tight set here.
Just going to give it to Mason Greathouse.
That should be a 1st.
Yeah, I think he's got enough for the 1st inside the about 5-yard line.
I'll tell you, I bid on it. I thought Javion had it around the corner.
Yeah, that's a good misdirection play. They really like that play down here, especially on tight goal line or even short yardage. They love that misdirection play because they've got a couple different things off of it that they can do. See a heavy set here. You got Ardawan in the backfield. Oh, here they're just going to shift out.
Knocking on the door of the Fayetteville end zone. It's 1st and goal. Orgel's going to roll, has pressure coming, throws it to the end zone, and it gets intercepted down the sideline, still on his feet.
Someone get in there.
And Chase Hancock's finally going to shove him out of bounds. That's intercepted by number 9, Jax Tidwell, the linebacker. And I'm not sure if that was just a bad read by Orgel or if it was just a rip away by Jax Tidwell.
Yeah, just kind of thrown into traffic. I saw in the I guess it was 2 plays ago where he was able to fit it in that tight window. Still a little bit of a dangerous throw, and this time Fayetteville made them play, and now made them pay, and they've got great position.
And when you're in scoring position like that, gosh, that one hurts.
So Fayetteville gets right back almost exactly where they were when they turned the ball over on downs, as that run's not going to go much of anywhere.
It's Max Burns bringing him down.
It's Caleb
or
Johnson.
Andrew Manning.
Sorry, Kyle. That's Caleb Johnson on the run.
Yeah, I think Burns was in there as well. I think they kind of combined on that one, but because that was a good job by Burns getting through the first A gap and getting back there for a short area. Ended up being a loss, actually. It's nice.
So 2nd and 11 from the 39. They're going to fake the handoff. Hank steps up, throws it high, and that's going to be incomplete, intended for Charles Whitlow, who had the drop in the end zone in their last offensive possession.
Yeah, we're lucky that ball went high. We got a little pressure, just enough to get that ball to go high, but if he catches that, he's got a lot of room.
And Hendricks hasn't quite fully settled in yet, and that's one thing PA's got to make sure and clean up before he does, because it's only a matter of time.
So 3rd and 11. Hendricks, the low man of the backfield. Steps up, throws it. That's going to be caught. I believe he got enough for the first. We'll see where they spot him, and that's going to be hauled in by Katavion Taylor.
And that's exactly what we just brought up in the pregame show. Is like good on first, good on second, 3rd and long, and give up that big play to get back into first down. So we got to clean that up on the defensive side if we want to win this ball game.
They're saying 3rd down, but the stick is past the marker.
Yeah.
Okay, that confused me. All right, I'm like, all right, now they're switching it.
So they will give Fayetteville the first down. Gonna hand the ball off. One tackle broken. And the ball comes out after he hits the ground.
That was close,
so it'll be a 2nd down. But that was almost a momentum shifter for the Bruins.
As we said in the pregame, both these running backs, they've totaled 3 fumbles on the season, so pretty good. I know that wasn't a fumble, but overall really good at taking care of the football.
Caleb Johnson on the carry. Be 2nd and 4. Hendricks going to hand it off again up the middle. Johnson has enough for another Fayetteville first down as they are in the Caldwell Toyota red zone. They're trying to knock on the door of the Pulaski Academy end zone.
Moving fast, too. Already back up at the line.
Hands it off again, trips up, stumbles, and will be brought down. Again, that's Caleb Johnson on the carry.
One thing I noticed, last couple plays is PA's decided to move TJ Logan out to help cover some of these inside receivers, and I think that's due to just such a passing prowess to Fayetteville so far this year that they're kind of asking them to run more, and they're really counting on their guys inside, Brylan and Max, to take care of things inside.
So 2nd and 8. Hendricks takes the snap, stays in the pocket. Now he'll roll. Room to run left-hand side, pump fakes, and he trucks a defender as he gets out of bounds near the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Purple Dogs, after the run by Hendricks.
We mentioned a couple of times in the pregame about how he doesn't have super fast wheels, but he can move and also can lay a lick as well.
Well, when your O-line gives you time like that, it makes it pretty easy.
Correction, they're going to say it's 3rd and 1 as Johnson gets met, but he'll get in. Touchdown, Purple Dogs.
And now going to have to play catch up again. It's just killer, man. We were down inside the 10-yard line and then give up that interception. They get some points out of it, so now got to respond.
Yeah, I mean, in the coaching world, you call that a 14-point swing. You went from us +7 to now us down 7. 14-point swing like that.
So the PAT is up, and the PAT will be good. So 3:29 left to go in the first quarter. The Dogs leave the Bruins 7-0.
I think you just got to go back and continue to try to establish the run. Get Gittins more. Gittins has really already been eaten. Still have not seen we've seen Swoboda out on the field, just have not caught a pass. I think Will's had so he's been back for this is his 5th game, I think, back, and he's had 2 touchdowns in every single one. So you'd imagine he'll get involved pretty soon.
Yeah. And Mason's gotten open. I've seen him open downfield a little bit in those first 2 drives. So look for maybe some quick seam routes to Mason. And even I talked about them moving Javion out of the backfield. You still got Javion that you can throw the ball to. So plenty of options. You just got to put it all together and get all 11 guys on the same page.
So just as a note, that touchdown by Caleb Johnson marks his 14th on the season. As we wait the kickoff from the Fayetteville Special Teams Unit. I want to remind everybody this game's brought to you by PA Live, courtesy of the Natural State Sports Network. That one going to be returnable by Bryce. Bryce trying to find a lane, but it'll be forced out of bounds at the PA 30. So it'll be Bruin football as they try to get back into the red zone where Aaron Orgel threw the interception last drive.
And I will say Harbor fooled them on a flea flicker last week, so maybe try something like that. You know, you don't want to dig into your bag of tricks maybe in this position, but you get closer to midfield, you cross midfield, possibly pull out something from the bag of tricks.
Hey, why not? We started that first play of the game. We had Chase coming in behind, so you can kind of build on that into something, you know, a little reverse pass or something.
Well, don't forget the flea flicker that Conway ran against PA earlier this season.
Refs are stopping this one. I don't know really what for. Maybe some chain issues over there.
I think there's maybe a uniform issue with one of the Fayetteville players having to get sent off.
Oh, yeah, he is taking him off. I wonder what that's about. I see his red gloves. I thought your gloves had to match your uniform at some point. I don't know if that's still an official rule or not.
That's Cole Mobley coming off the field.
I think it's his knee pad.
Yeah, they're calling him on the knee pads. Wow.
You don't see that a lot.
Well, they should take this corner off on our end, too.
It just depends on who the officiating crew is. Sometimes some are more strict about it.
Hey, this is Sullivan in, by the way.
Oh, that is Caleb Sullivan.
Caleb Sullivan throws an interception.
That's to the Arkansas commit, Kendrick Williams.
And a PI roofing penalty flag comes out.
Yeah. Tough. I mean, now great field position once again. I think they started the previous drive, Fayetteville did, after that other interception on about the 40. So now they're going to have even better field position to start this drive. We'll see what this flag is. This PI roofing penalty flag.
After the interception, we have a block below the waist. On the defense, penalty will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
What is we have a what?
Block below the waist.
Block below the waist.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
so
hear that part.
A 15-yard penalty. So it will help out PA a little bit, but still losing that possession hurts.
Yeah,
especially on the first play of it.
And starting in your territory again.
Yeah, this is about where they started on the first drive, right at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's like 35-40.
Defense is put in a bad position, but we got to step up.
So after the interception and penalty flag, we 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Hendricks tries to throw the screen. It was almost intercepted.
Yeah, it looks like Ermon Tolbert, who missed a couple games earlier in the year, but is back, and gosh, could have had a huge play there. Had a lot of room in front of him, too. I don't know if he would have made it all the way with running backs and receivers right behind him, but definitely could have been a momentum shifter.
It's going to be 2nd down for Fayetteville. Hendricks throws it. That's going to be hauled in near the sideline. Not enough for the first, so a 3rd down will be facing Fayetteville here.
Hartford low, pushes him out of bounds. It's been a while since Hartford had that tear to start the season of interceptions. It'd be a good time to get one of those now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind one of those.
Tavion Taylor was the receiver who brought that one in. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the 31-yard line. Hand it off. And that's Johnson on the carry, still on his feet.
We were talking earlier about how they've kind of Fayetteville was a passing offense. You know, we talked about him having 3,000-plus yards this season. But I'm actually kind of impressed with these running backs. I mean, they kind of are patient once they get that ball, they hit that hole pretty hard.
Yeah, you got 2 guys over. I know that, you look at the stats throughout 10 games, and you're like, oh, only 500 yards. But then you look at 2 running backs that have gone over 500, and then the touchdowns that they've combined for, 18 coming into tonight.
So they'll be down at the 20 inside the Caldwell Toyota red zone. 1st and 10 for Fayetteville. PJ Logan coming in fast. Pass will be hauled in to Johnson.
And I don't know if that was an RPO or just a really perfectly timed little quick pass, but TJ Logan's been on that slot receiver all night, and the one time he starts to blitz, they instantly throw it to him. I don't know, maybe that was an RPO, but if not, I think it may have just been a really well-timed play call.
2nd and 7. Hendricks calls for the snap, throws it over the middle, and he hauls it in. Touchdown, Purple Dogs.
Yeah, it was Charles Whitlow, the senior receiver, on the touchdown reception.
Guess he makes up for the drop in the end zone earlier.
Yeah.
And this is kind of something we've seen multiple times where you've had opportunities to put some points on the board, and mistakes lead to points for the other team. Now you're in a 2-touchdown hole.
Kick is up, and the kick will go through the uprights and be good. So 1:50 left to go in the first quarter of this one. Fayetteville leads Pulaski Academy 14-0 in round 1 of the 2025 7A playoffs.
Now the wheels in my brain are spinning. You know, what quarterback do you trot back out now? You know, you've got Orgel that threw the pick in the end zone, and then you only gave Sullivan one play, but it was an interception. I mean, do you try to bring Sullivan out, maybe try to run the ball a little bit, get a couple easier throws under his belt to kind of calm the freshman down? It's a tough spot, I will say. Got a sophomore and a freshman that you're working with. And, hey, last week we even saw Swoboda hit the quarterback spot a few times, so who knows? You know, it would be nice if we could just return this for a touchdown and not have to worry about the quarterback situation just yet. That would be nice.
Kickoff's going to go over the head of returners for a touchback. But, hey, guys, understand we got a little bit new technology to play with here tonight, thanks to our producer, Will Watkins.
Well, you jinxed him.
Give us a look at the bracket, Will. We'll take it.
Yeah, let's look at it.
The 7A playoffs. Look at that beautiful graphic.
Obviously, you look at that who the winner of this game gets in Bryant. You would hope that as PA, but just on paper, that Bryant-Rogers matchup in the semis.
Ooh, that could
of course,
spicy.
We know what Bryant is, but then Rogers, their quarterback Jeff Regan, arguably the most electric player in 7A.
Looks like Sullivan's still out there at quarterback. Going to flip it to Chase. Chase is going to get tackled in the backfield by number 21. C.J. Bailey on the tackle.
I got to really give it up to I got to give it up to this Fayetteville defense. They've really cranked it up a notch. They've done a good job of making some adjustments. I know that the plays that they've made, as far as the interceptions, have certainly helped their momentum, but they've done a great job at adjusting.
Sullivan hands it off to Javion.
Javion Walker.
Bring up a third down for the Bruins.
And for those who may not know, this is a freshman. We started a sophomore, and this is a freshman in at quarterback, number 14, Caleb Sullivan.
Yeah, and if that first drive wasn't under the fire, now you're under the fire. 3rd and 9 on your own 20-yard line.
Sullivan's going to take the snap and he'll roll. Pressure coming from behind him. Throws it near the sideline.
Sullivan's pass intended for getting.
They gave him the catch.
Bailey defending on the play. Pass was incomplete.
I think it was complete. The refs down here, it looks like it's complete, about 7 or 8 yard gain. It was right on the sideline. So again, they take Sullivan off. Sullivan trotted off, and we got Aaron back out here on the 4th down. So a lot of moving parts for PA.
So they officially say 4th and 3 from the 27-yard line of PA. Aaron's going to punt it.
Woo.
It's going to be a high punt past the 50. They'll go out of bounds around the 42-yard line. So Fayetteville's offense will come back out here after scoring 2 touchdowns off of 2 interceptions by their defense.
in full control here. And I mean, I know the defense has been put in some really tough spots, but it is very, very necessary to make sure that you get one here, because you've got to get some sort of momentum going and get some points on the board.
Looks like they'll take over on the 43.
What you got to be weary of, I mean, Kyle, you talked about this a little bit. They'll hit a lot of those hitch routes, quick passes, but then right when you get lulled to sleep, they're going to hit you with a little double move, pump and go or something. So secondary members got to be really clean with their eyes.
They hand it off to Johnson. Johnson bursts of speed up the middle. He'll get down near the first down marker.
This offensive line really having its way. It seems like they just keep getting better each time a running back touches the ball.
Yeah, they're doing a good job locking up on their defenders. They know who they're supposed to get. They get to a nice spot and create a seam for those running backs.
Officially say 2nd and 1 as the first quarter comes to a conclusion. Hendricks fakes the handoff. He'll throw it. It'll be too shallow, incomplete. Intended for number 12. That's Kenyon Johnson, the intended target. So 12 seconds left to go in the first. 3rd down for the Purple Dogs, and they're leading at 14-0.
Got to give Caleb Johnson credit too. Was picked up T.J. Logan there as the blitzing linebacker. Did a really good job of staying with him and giving Hendricks that extra protection.
Yeah, we're lucky Hendricks missed that pass and gets us another chance at a 3rd down here. I know it's a short one, but it's a chance to get off the field potentially.
Hendricks going to hand it off to Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson lowers his shoulder. He'll have enough for the first down.
Yeah, that offensive line just mauled us up front, just made it really, really easy.
I'd be curious to know, just seeing that literally you've got seniors across that front, I'd be curious to know the combined amount of starts that they've all had.
Oh, gosh, I know. And they're big, too. They're solid.
So that's going to be how the first quarter concludes. The Dogs leading it big time, 14-0.
Well, we got a break in the action. I want to say congratulations to Vatan Padak, the Bowen Heffley Orthopedics Pulaski Academy Student Athlete of the Week. Vatan is a junior starting forward for the Bruins basketball team, as well as a member of the Bruins soccer team. Vatan balances tough academic classes with leadership on the basketball court, and Coach Ty Ferguson describes Vatan as the definition of a student athlete. He is an incredible worker, both on and off the court, and excels at both. Congratulations to Vatan Padak, our Bowen Heffley Orthopedic Student of the Week.
Yeah, but Vatan's a really fun guy to watch. I got the pleasure of watching him during both seasons, actually, basketball and soccer, and just a stud across the board. I mean, he kind of, walks around, you look at the guy, and you're like, surely he's not too good at basketball. And then sure enough, man, he puts it on, straps those shoes on, and can do some work out there. Even dunked the ball a few times. I've seen him out there.
Yeah, and you see that so many, not just in like football, throughout so many sports in PA. You're like, oh, that kid can't be that great. Fuda Shinkawa, perfect example. That kid was, what was he, 140 pounds, dripping wet, but exactly. One of the most ferocious players I've ever covered.
I know, it's so fun.
So we start the second quarter, 1st and 10 from the PA 44-yard line. Hendricks, the lone man in the backfield. Pressure coming, steps up, throws a deep one. That's going to be hauled in. Touchdown, Fayetteville. That's Katavion Taylor with the touchdown reception.
Yeah, Katavion Taylor along with Kenwan Johnson. You got two pretty much WR1s to throw to, and just a go route up the sideline and hit him perfectly.
And it's one of those receivers we called out right before the game, and we were talking about looking through the stats, and even the defensive coaches were calling out, hey, number one is that guy you got to cover. And we had decent coverage, but just a great throw again from Hendricks right over the shoulder.
So the kick is up, and the kick will sail through the uprights and be good. So 11:52 left to go in the first half. 21-0 our score as Fayetteville has a commanding lead.
Just nothing going right, really, ever since that first interception. Yeah. It's just really gone downhill. PA had a great start. They were moving the football and were right there on the verge of putting it in the end zone, but everything since then has been nothing but Fayetteville. I'm interested now. If you go with, that was one thing they did. Tristan talking about the spark that Swoboda was able to provide last week. Particularly in the running game against Little Rock Christian. you put him in, try to get something, a little bit of a mix-up. You know that their hands are a little bit tied right now.
Yeah. The only caveat that comes to my mind there is, like, you're down 21. Do you really want to excel at running the ball right now, or do you want to just – who's your best quarterback to throw the ball downfield and create some explosive plays is what I'm going to.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
Be a high kickoff returnable near the 5. I believe that's Bryce again on the return. Cuts it back near the sideline. Still going. Burst of speed up the sideline. Gets into Fayetteville territory, but it'll be brought down near the 45-yard line, and that may be the spark Pulaski Academy needs.
And Bryce is, I mean, really, he's done everything that's been pretty much good for PA so far. And, yeah, we talked about really, especially at the first half of the season, I feel like he was very underrated. I mean, we knew what he could do, but he's also really underrated as a kick returner. He's had some long ones, but I think that's probably his best one of the year.
Yeah, really good job toe tapping. I felt like he was going to go out at like our 40 and ends up on the opposite 45. So really good job of toe tapping there. Pick up an extra about 15 yards.
And Orgel is back in at quarterback.
So they'll be down at the 44, 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Going to hand it off to Javion. Javion only gets a couple before he's brought down. 2nd down facing the Bruins.
He's still trying to run the full. I don't think he quite abandoned it yet. Just trying to see, what you can do. But I'm with you, Blake. I mean, that's a great point about making sure you have the quarterback that you feel the most confident in throwing the football.
So they did give him a yard. 2nd and 9 for Pulaski Academy. Aaron throws it. That's going to be hauled in by, I believe, Greathouse. Greathouse with a burst of speed will be forced out of bounds near the 25-yard line. 1st down, Pulaski Academy.
There you go. Probably the best offensive play we've seen so far. Just a simple crossing route. And then he used his blocks really well. You see what a play is. Mason will come across from the right side to the left. Aaron's got just enough time to get it to him. And you see Javion with a little chip right there to pick up an extra yardage.
Orgel calls the snap. He'll roll right, throws it to Javion. Javion gets 2 off of him before he's forced out of bounds, I should say. 2nd down coming up for the Bruins.
Yeah, that was kind of an awkward situation there for Javion. I feel like he wanted to go up and block first, and then Aaron was under pressure, so he kind of just turned around and flipped it to him, and Javion was in a bad position to take that for any yards.
We're actually going to say he lost a yard, so 2nd and 11 from the 26. Hand it off to Javion. Javion lowering his shoulder.
Yeah, and I do think we still obviously need to run the ball, but I think I think you're going to have to pass to open up the box a little bit for you to create maybe some bigger running lanes. I don't know if we're in a position right now to be able to run the ball and build into some sort of play action thing. I mean, there's plenty of time, obviously, to score at 21 and get back into it, but we'll see what they come up with.
So 3rd and 7 for the Bruins. Orgel going to run it up, keep it himself, and he's hit hard. It'll have enough for a 4th and short.
Yeah, marked him just short, like you said. 4th and 1 coming up. I wasn't expecting to see an Aaron run right there, so that surprised me. I'm sure it surprised the Fayetteville defense a bit.
Well, notice he doesn't have the knee brace on, so that's good to see.
That is encouraging.
Be 4th and 2. Aaron, again, the lone man in the backfield. In the gun formation, looks to the sideline for the check.
Yeah, you got your 4 receivers, your quads over here. You got Javion soloed up on the backside. I probably look to this quad set on the left.
Aaron pump fakes once, throws it, and that's going to be hauled in by Max Conine.
Yeah, really good play right there. Greathouse kind of sold the screen really well. Was able to hit Conine. I guess I was paying attention to Greathouse. I guess that was on a slant route there that he was able to hit him.
Yeah, they kind of had a triple slant route behind of a choice right there, and Aaron made a good choice.
So 1st and goal in the Caldwell Toyota red zone. First. They're going to hand it off to Javion. Javion gets near the goal line. Does he get in? No, he doesn't.
wasn't able to quite get it across.
So they're going to mark him a yard short.
Yeah.
This will be second and goal here for the Bruins, but what a tremendous play that was by Javion.
Yeah, it looked the middle was completely stuffed up, so he did a really good job of bouncing it back outside and got it close. Down on the one, got to finish this drive off with a touchdown. Can't mess around.
Looks like Javion will take the snap.
Ooh, high snap.
And he's going to have room around the edge. Touchdown, Bruins!
Huge. And how big was that kickoff return from Giddens?
Yeah.
I think that's one thing we're going to look back on. There's still a lot of work left to be done, but if PA is able to continue climbing back into this one, I think that's one thing that we're going to look back on. We've said spark a few different times tonight, and that's going to be the thing, the play that we look back on that gave it to them.
Yeah, when you combine that kickoff return with just the simple pass to Greathouse that turned into a little 15, 20-yard play, I mean, those back-to-back are really good momentum builders.
Going for two. They'll hand it off. They throw it in the end zone. He's caught it. 2-point conversion is good as Javion throws a little jump pass to Conine.
Tebow's it to the 6'6" receiver. Like it. Contested catch. Hey, credit to him, man. I mean, I'll tell you, it's easy. And you don't ever – PA is never going to lay down. You don't ever expect that. But it'd be really easy especially with how their season's gone. You get down 21-0 on the road in the first round to really just get down on yourselves. But they didn't. They came back and struck back with authority.
I'm trying to remember back. Didn't Derrick Henry have a little pop pass like that at some point when he was with the Ravens? I feel like I remember him doing that.
Probably.
Kind of reminded me of it. I don't know. I got visions of Derrick Henry. Not that Javion's Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But, you know. Tristan, I look like you have
the way you worded that made me confused if Derrick Henry was still in Baltimore.
Is he not?
I think he is.
Yeah.
Well, you word the way you worded that. You said when Derrick Henry was in Baltimore. I was like, wait, what? When did he leave?
Yeah. No. I just always think of him as a Titan, so I got to clarify. I don't know. I did say it weird. I'll give you that. It's fine.
Never a dull moment here on PA Live.
Ooh.
We'll run the onside kick, and it's recovered by Fayetteville.
I like that kick, though.
Yeah.
A little misdirection, and then a pretty good wobbler. And who was that, number 6 down there that made the play?
I believe that's Kendrick Williams. Kendrick Williams is 4.
Kalen Hendricks, I believe
Hendricks.
that was. Yeah, good job by him to squeeze that one and keep possession for the Dogs.
We all know if you need an onside kick, just kick it to Kyle Sutherland.
Nah. If you want to recover it.
Oh!
Butterfingers to the max.
So after the onside kick, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of Fayetteville. They're up 2 scores. Hendricks fakes the handoff, throws a deep ball. Open man hauls it in. Walk in, touchdown Fayetteville.
And that was pretty much the exact same play. Fayetteville scored on 2 of their first 4 plays against Harbor last week, and that was pretty much the second play of the game, exactly like that. He was able to get behind the secondary wide open for a touchdown, just a breakdown.
Well, we tried to build some momentum, and then you let it slip away like that.
Well, and that's what goes back to, and we talked about it on the way up here, and I've mentioned it to multiple people outside before the game, is on paper this is going to be one where it's going to be score for score. And, PA's only been able to do that once so far, and Fayetteville continues to do it.
I believe that was Tavion Taylor's second touchdown of the night. But the PAT is up and good, so 28-8. 20-point advantage for Fayetteville.
Love another huge kickoff return. Look at Fayetteville's coach, man. He's fiery down there. He's getting after. They're up this big, and still seeing some fire there from the coaching staff.
Oh, the kickoff guy.
Yeah. He's telling his
Hyping
guys.
them up.
Yeah, I bet he's probably
After
telling
that
them not to make sure guard your lanes and run them right.
Yeah, let's not have another 50-yard run back from Bryce.
Another high one, returnable near the 5. It's Bryce on the return again. Fighting towards the sideline. He gets slung out by his jersey.
Some better coverage there for the Dogs, keeping him at the 20-yard line.
Well, when you pull him out by his jersey, I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'll bring it up again. I mean, I think you got to get Swoboda involved somehow. I mean, he's just been such a huge player for you here over the past few weeks since he's made his return from injury, and hadn't seen him at all. We've seen him, just haven't thrown it to him.
Not with the ball in his
hands.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not on the field right now.
First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Orgel's going to throw it up the sideline. Incomplete, intended for Bryce Gittens on the play, and that would have been a momentum shifter for sure.
That would have. And some of those wheel routes, though, I like the play because some of those wheel routes are what really worked against Bryant and Conway and some of those bigger defenses that we played this year. So I don't mind the play call, kind of putting one of your fast receivers on a slower inside backer that's chasing it. So I don't mind that play call.
Looks like they'll have trips at the top of your screen. Aaron's going to throw it to Bryce. He hauls it in enough for the first down, and Bryce was open there.
Yeah.
Nice catch.
And a pretty good adjustment because that ball was a little behind him, but Aaron was leading it behind him to keep him away from the defender a little bit. So credit to both sides there. Good, decent throw and a really good catch from Bryce.
Hand it off to Javion. Javion reverses field. Tries to get away, but it'll be brought down back behind the 40-yard line. May have lost yardage on that one.
Really just a wall of purple.
Yeah, some instant penetration there from the inside. I think that was Big 55 that got in there and just kind of disrupted it right off the bat. Made Javion cut. And as a running back, you like to get at least 2 or 3 steps behind you. Then you can make your cut. But when that first step has to be the other way, it's tough.
Fake the handoff to Javion. Mason Greathouse.
Back-to-back, really great defensive plays by Fayetteville. Just not allowing an inch for PA.
Yeah, I think that was number 8, Will Price. Like we were bringing up in the beginning of the broadcast, is tackling receivers in open space. That's, again, one of our best open field runners in Greathouse, but Price tracks him down and makes a really clean tackle.
So 3rd and 11. Fake the handoff. Aaron throws it over the middle. That's going to be hauled in by Conine.
It'll be about a yard or two.
Yeah, a nice similar catch to Bryce's, a little bit behind him, but he was covered well, but a good catch. At least gives us a chance here on a 4th down, short now.
4th and 2 will be the official spot from their own 47. Orgel, the lone man in the backfield, almost gets a purple dog to jump.
I think they got 2. I was thinking Aaron run, but I think there's too many guys in the box to run Aaron here.
And Aaron's going to keep it himself. And you're right. There's too many people to run that one.
Yeah. They had 4 down linemen and a linebacker, and just, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if you had good numbers to do that.
Ball goes over on down. Bulldogs take over 1st and 10.
Now the defense, the defense has been pretty accustomed to, whether it's, from an onside kick or a turnover or whatever, they've been accustomed to the offense is starting in good field position, but once again, being asked to step up.
That fire horn was really sad sounding, was it not?
So after the turnover on downs, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Throw it quickly in the backfield. Juice left. Before he's wrestled down. That's hauled in by number 12. That's Kenyon Johnson on the reception.
Yeah, and a good hustle play from Brylan there from the inside. Oh, no, he was actually at his defensive end spot. Ended up rushing the quarterback, but turned around and came back to make that play. So good hustle play.
Handed off to Johnson. Johnson bursts his speed. Still on his feet. 15, 10, 5. He's going to walk in. Touchdown, Fayetteville.
Yeah, it was just a great run. Credit the offensive line. Once again, credit Johnson. But I think the defense is a little bit tired right now, and it's hard to blame them. I mean, they've been on the field a lot and giving up some big plays, but Fayetteville are just rocking and rolling. We knew that this offense could do that, averaging 50 points per over the last 3 games.
Johnson now has 15 touchdowns on the 2025 season. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So 6:32 left to go in the first half. Fayetteville on top, 35-8.
Yeah, now it's, I'm hesitant to say abandon the run, but now it's Blake, you're kind of just running out of time of what to do now, and then you're basically forced to put it in the air. And that's when PA has really been put in a tough spot, is when teams know that that's what you have to do to try to make a comeback. And there's really not much more to say other than Fayetteville's in full control.
Yeah.
And here comes the kick from the Fayetteville Special Teams unit. We returned by Bryce. Bryce tried to get something going, but he was tackled by the second defender that got back there. It's Bailey on the tackle.
I'll tell you, this Fayetteville team, they took the advice of their coach that was getting on them there. After Bryce blew up on that first kickoff return, they've done a good job on coverage on the past 2.
So 6:28 left to go in the first half. Be 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Orgel, the low man in the gun. Great House is in motion. There's a blitz coming. Orgel throws it. That's going to be intercepted. It's going to be intercepted by Fayetteville. That's number 18. It
was 18.
Gosh, I just can't get anything
That's
to go right.
Joseph Carey. Yeah, I mean, and of course, too, when you got the momentum of your home crowd, I mean, everybody in purple is just feeling it right now, and as they should. So this is the third.
I think that actually might have been number 16. We could give the other guy credit there. Tough to see the 16 and 18, but I think it was 16.
Yeah, Cole Mobley.
Cole
There
Mobley.
you go. There's a shout out.
You look like 18.
If any Fayetteville fans happen to be watching PA Live, we got it right.
Keep in mind, we're not quite as familiar with the West teams as the Central.
So after the interception, it'll be 1st and 10 from the PA 28-yard line. They're going to throw a PI roofing penalty flag.
Flag on the play. Before the snap, false start on the offense.
They're going to call a false start on Fayetteville. Back them up 5.
Yeah, and you could maybe overhear some of the coaches yelling that they had a tight end sneaking out as eligible there. In a weird situation. So they kind of tried to trick PA there, and we talked about some of the trick plays they ran earlier. So PA kind of got away with one there of not having to deal with it.
Fake the handoff, throws it. It's going to be a hook and ladder type play by Fayetteville. That was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Now they're feeling themselves, huh? Yep.
Just even still pulling out all the tricks.
I like it, though.
Yeah, and that's one thing
I like
is
play call.
– oh, for sure, yeah. That was one of the things. You don't really have to use them, but I noticed against Harbor in particular, they pulled out a lot of bags of tricks.
So Hendricks fakes the handoff. Pressure coming. Backtracks. Throws a deep one out of bounds, incomplete.
Now, was he out of the pocket there? Out of the tackle box?
Yeah, there's a PI roofing penalty flag on the 30.
I don't think that's what that would have been for, but.
Likely going to be in the area of holding.
Yeah.
Here's the call from the White Hat.
Personal foul on the offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Back-to-back penalties. That's not something that, right now, as it stands, may not make a whole lot of difference, but that's back-to-back positive things, at least in PA's favor.
So we'll be second in a country mile here after the penalty flag. The PI roofing penalty flag, might I add. Hendricks calls for the snap. Pressure coming. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it deep to the end zone. A coverage.
Oh.
And he drops it incomplete.
Bounced off of him into the hands of Max Allison, but he couldn't bring it in either.
Jaden Nicholson, who almost had an amazing touchdown grab.
That would have been.
So that brings up third down.
And PA brought the blitz there. You saw they brought about 6 or 7 guys, trusted their secondary in the back to make the plays. And, surprisingly, Hank got out of it and made a decent throw to the end zone. PA looking to bring more pressure. See if they change it up here since Fayetteville's changing their play.
Hendricks stays in the pocket, throws it over the middle, has a man that's going to be brought in. Burst of speed and a foot race. Touchdown Fayetteville. That's Charles Whitlow, who had all the speed in the world to get into the end zone.
Hank Hendricks said, you're going to give us 2 straight penalties? Well, that's all right. We got a little bit longer field to work with. We can still do it.
No, and that goes back to what we were talking about before. Is like good first down, good on second down, decent on third down until that.
And guys, I know what this is like. I went down to, I think I maybe told this story on the broadcast before. My junior year, we went down to Warren. They put 42 up on us in the first half of the quarterfinals. So I know what this is like.
Yeah, it's tough though, man.
Yeah, it's very, very
on
tough.
The seniors for sure. Knowing might be your last game.
Hendricks turns around, throws it to the offensive lineman, and he's going to lose the football.
It's going to be dead.
They're going to blow it dead. So with 5:20 left to go in the first half.
Oh, gosh. I really hope that lineman is not hurt bad.
41-8 is our score.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
Oh, you're good. I understand your love for offensive linemen.
Yeah, I see the big fellas laying on the ground. My heart goes out. They were really wanting that lineman to run a lot. I mean, he caught that, on about the 15 or so? I feel like they were way far back. Tried to pull the old, what's the name of that Alabama lineman that had the touchdown catch?
Oh, Caden Proctor.
Yeah, Proctor.
Man,
yeah,
I saw him at SEC Media Days. You think he's big on TV? Holy cow. It's like, they had to basically butter the doorways to get him through those. He is massive.
That's what you get, man. SEC linemen are a different breed of human. Which is always so impressive to me when you see, SEC freshmen and stuff come into play, and you're like, you're putting 18-year-old kids that were just in this game about 6 months ago up against dudes like Proctor and other huge linemen.
Yeah.
Returnable near the 10 by Bryce. Bryce into the second level, still going up the sideline, tries to get more past the 30, but I believe they'll blow him dead there.
And now it is time to abandon the run, I think.
Now it is?
Yeah.
Check mark that one in the can we get a graphic on that, Will? time to abandon the run. Okay, no graphic.
Looks like Caleb Sullivan, freshman, will be back in at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, it's obviously the game's starting to get out of hand a little bit, and you start to look forward to next year of like who needs experience, what kind of reps can we get? These are live, good playoff reps that you can get underneath a kid's belt.
Sullivan throws it. It's going to be hauled in by Conine. Conine gains a couple, brings up a second down.
Yeah, but you're right, Blake. I mean, that's one thing, and when you have a young team, we talked about it so many different times this year. When I think it was 21 seniors that PA graduated, and so just with all these reps that they've gotten through the season and even on in now getting some postseason experience, it's invaluable.
Sullivan going to keep it himself.
High
shot.
There, yeah.
And he gets lit up.
And there comes William into the game. I think he's coming in as a receiver, so.
I don't think he was in at all on the last drive.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Of course, William Swoboda recently signed on to play baseball at UCA. Congratulations to him and his family. Will be 3rd and 6. Sullivan drops back, throws it to Chase at his feet, incomplete.
Yeah, that was a confusing one. They had, you know, you threw a little hitch route to Chase, and then you kind of had William trying to chip block a little bit, but then didn't go out on a route. I don't really know what the play design was there.
Well, now William Swoboda is at the quarterback position for this 4th and 6.
Yeah, I noticed they swung Aaron in there as well. You know, Aaron came in to punt earlier on a drive, so I don't know if that's what they're thinking, or maybe they still just let Aaron sling it and try to get this first down.
Will wasn't at quarterback. Now he's back out to receiver. Orgel throws it deep to Chase Hancock. He brings it in, has a first down and then some. Still going, fighting for extra yardage. It'll be in Fayetteville territory with a 1st and 10 after the big completion and conversion on 4th down.
They've tried to get it to Chase a few different times, and it hadn't worked out, and a huge play there to convert on 4th.
PA getting up to the line fast, try to keep this momentum going.
Aaron keeps it himself, room to run. PI Roofing penalty flag.
Oh, get down.
Yeah, you don't like that. Ugh.
He made a decision there.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I'll tell you, I'll rave all day about this kid's toughness. I mean, he's one of
yeah.
the toughest athletes I've seen, especially for a sophomore and, you know, having to deal with what he has this year. But, man, I'll tell you, sometimes he's a little too aggressive.
After you got banged up through the whole regular season, I think you take a slide there maybe.
All that for the play just to be brought back.
Oh, gosh.
10-yard penalty from the previous.
What I do like, though, also from Aaron is, like, you've struggled this game. You had the pick in the end zone. I think you had a second pick, and you get pulled for the freshman. But sure enough, whenever your name is called to go back out there, you just get out there and throw the ball to Chase for the first down on 4th. You get a long run there, even though it gets called back. But, again, that speaks to the kid's integrity and wanting to fight out there.
So 1st and 20 after the PI Roofing penalty flag. And Aaron gets sacked.
Yeah, they brought down a safety and blitzed. Got to him eventually. Just a decent coverage on the back end from the Bulldogs secondary to lock up the receivers for enough time.
17, Caden Walters. He's had a really good game there at the edge.
So 2nd and 29, 3 minutes remain in the first half. Aaron stays into the pocket, and he gets thrown down by the face mask. The ball's going to come out, and they're going to blow it dead.
I mean, they all but ripped his helmet off, but
they're somehow going to call Aaron's forward momentum down, I think, before the fumble comes out. But, yeah, there's a late flag that comes in. I think maybe the side ref came over and said he saw it late, because I think the white hat actually did not have a clear view of it because he was behind the play.
Casey Dick does not like it.
Oh,
that's what he's okay. So that's what he's upset about.
Well, that's not going to be a penalty. So let's see if they. And I'm kind of with Coach Dick a little bit. They blew that ball. I mean, they blew it dead while.
And then they just threw it. Yeah, no, he's got a case. I'm with. Call it down the middle. I tend to agree with you.
Yeah. But again, I think it came down to the white hat not really being able to see the play exactly. They didn't see Aaron.
Aaron on third down is going to get the snap. Time to throw. Still on his feet. Throws it. Incomplete. Intended for William Swoboda.
That was his first target and just was way out of reach.
Yeah. Now this fourth down is so long.
It's fourth down.
In situations like these, I guess punting would be an option, but I also kind of like the little hook and ladder play that Fayetteville set up, potentially have those corners step up on a hitch route and then be able to flick something behind them maybe.
JV on the man in motion on this 4th and forever. Aaron just going to take the snap, and that's going to be a good punt. Wow.
Sheesh.
That one flew off his foot. Hey, we're trying to find something to be excited about, guys.
The silver lining.
Oh, man. And it even had some bounce back to it a little bit. It went about a yard in the end zone. If that was a yard in the field of play, that would have been a perfect punt.
So with 2:06 left to go in the first half of this one, Fayetteville's going to get the ball. They're up 41-8.
This is more than enough time for them to put more on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with just the way they've been rolling and had so many big plays.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. They started out a little slow, kind of conservative, but the last 2 or 3 drives, they have just opened it up and said, we're letting our receivers run deep.
Hand the ball off. Not really going to gain much, if any, that time. I believe that's a new tailback in. That's Terrence Garden, number 17, the junior, on the carry.
Little gain on the play.
So 2nd and 10. He didn't get anything. Hendricks going to drop back, pump fakes once, throws a deep ball, has a man incomplete. Katavion Taylor just lost that one in the lights and couldn't bring it in.
That was actually a really, really good throw. And seen a couple of those where the receivers just haven't been able to bring them in. You don't see that too much from Katavian. That's normally a reception.
Yeah, and I kind of thought he throttled down a little bit because, like you said, that was a really good throw from Hendricks, I thought, on the back shoulder like that. And I think the receiver slowed down a little early.
Regardless, Hank's going to make somebody really happy in college.
Mm-hmm.
So 3rd and 10, 91 seconds left to go in the first half.
Get there.
Hank's going to scramble, throws it, and it almost gets intercepted.
Beautiful read there by Sam Hurtado coming up on it, and we missed 2 or 3 people missed him in the backfield. I thought we were going to get our first sack. But just Hendricks is slippery back there, man. Good pocket presence to just kind of slide around in there with defenders all around him. Still gets the ball off.
James Dolan back to punt.
Hey, a little scoring update from our neighboring broadcast at Robinson. They're losing 14-10 to Camden Fairview at half.
What I tell y'all about the 5A South?
I know it's a good division down there, and being a 4 seed, that's a good 4 seed.
And I will say, 4 seed in that league. I mean, and a lot of others in 5A would be probably a 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to say it's a bad classification, but that's just how deep that league is. And 5A is a very good classification.
Yeah, kind of a bad draw if you're Robinson just to pull that conference.
Of course, our friends Chris Gay and Will Stafford on the call that one.
Don't count Deuce and the other Senators out just yet, though.
No, there's still plenty of time.
Full half to go.
In Camden Fairview, you really got to get Nick Vaughn, good friend of mine, did a great job as defensive coordinator at Parkview before they went on that 3-peat run, and then he took the head job at Fairview, and he's I think 2 runs to the semis. I know at least 1 to the quarter, so he's made a couple of deep runs with the Cardinals. Done a great job there.
So after the punt, be 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line of PA. They're down 41-8. Aaron's going to stay in the pocket, throws it to Bryce. Bryce brings it in.
Ooh. So hard to bring down, man.
I didn't even hear the whistle blow. Everyone stopped, so I guess they did blow it. Yeah, he took 2 or 3 shots from Fayetteville defenders.
Hurried to the line.
Orgel's going to roll. Pump fakes once, throws it back across the field. I believe that's Greathouse with the carry. Greathouse gets tripped up near the 42.5-yard marker.
Wasn't able to make it out of bounds. Was a little hobbly getting up, running it off.
Yeah, luckily the first down stopped the clock for a little bit as we get to the line. It's going to restart, so we got to go quick.
Aaron dumps it off to Chase Hancock. Chase Hancock gets brought down by the legs. He loses the ball after he goes down.
I think PA made a call of timeout there.
Yeah.
Because he was inbounds. Tell you what, Fayetteville's bringing that number 8. Their safety keeps flying down on a couple of these safety blitz looks. I mean, I guess that's just the confidence you get when you got a huge lead. It's just like, screw it, man. I'll be sending everyone.
They got to be careful because they do that enough, then Aaron's going to recognize it and throw a deep ball for a touchdown.
Casey Dick talking to saw he got very upset about the sideline warning a little earlier, and he's talking to the white hat about something else now. Yeah, of course, Casey Dick played for the Razorbacks from 2005 to 2008. His last play as a Razorback, or one of the last plays, was that miracle on Markham 2 to London Crawford. And Anthony Lucas, of course, played about 10 years for the Razorback, 10 years prior to Casey for the Hogs, and had a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, Tristan, don't you remember those great Razorback memories?
Hey, we're not talking about that until after Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Tristan's an LSU fan.
2nd and 6 for the Bruins. Orgel is going to drop way back, throws it to Javion on the screen, gets a block, but a PI roofing penalty flag comes out, and it will be holding. Javion still fighting. Touchdown Bruins, but a play's coming back.
Yeah, we got 2 PI roofing penalty flags, and I'll say we saw that really that whole defensive line for Fayetteville knew it was a screen and still was able to make something out of it. Of course, got some holding to help out.
Well, that would have been nice right before half to have that one in the books.
Yep. Waiting the call from the white hat.
There are 2 fouls on the play. We have holding on the offense. We have holding on the defense.
Offset.
Those penalties will offset. Replay 2nd down.
Wow.
You don't see holding on the defense downfield like that very often in the secondary. That's an odd one.
So 2nd and 6, 14 seconds left to go in the first half after the offsetting penalties. Orgelsen's chase in motion. Drop back. Throws a deep ball, laying it out there to the end zone. Incomplete.
Yeah, looking Chase's way down the sideline, but that ball never had a chance. He got it to the end zone, but it was out of bounds. Chase couldn't have made a play on it.
Have a chance to get one more play off here before we head to the locker room.
Fayetteville's just going to back all their players up deep.
Oh, Chase just ran 50 yards, and now he's jogging back to get in place.
Just going to see how far Aaron can throw this one. Throws it. That's going to be hauled in by Greathouse. Greathouse fights off a defender. Still going. Swoboda lays the block, but that'll be how the first half ends. 41-8 our score. When we come back, we're going to see if Pulaski Academy can mount a historical comeback right here on PA Live, courtesy of the Natural State Sports Network.
A warm first day greeting from an experienced and dedicated classroom teacher.
Instruction and curriculum that ignite a student's passion for learning from early childhood through graduation.
Fine arts, athletics, and extracurricular activities that expand our students' horizons and enrich their lives. These are just a few of the reasons why our faculty, parents, students, alumni are passionate about the Pulaski Academy mission.
Based on extensive feedback from parents, faculty, and alumni, the board led the charge in developing a new strategic plan and mission statement to guide the investments we will make in PA's people, programs, and facilities for years to come. We invite you to review the strategic plan and discover how ensuring faculty and staff excellence, transforming and renewing our campus, and furthering the standard of excellence of our fine arts, athletics, college counseling, student wellness, and other programs will ensure that we are well prepared to serve and support present and future Bruins.
We have also developed a new mission statement, one that captures the essence of our exceptional school and the aspirations that we hold for each student.
We are an academic community
dedicated to excellence,
where each student is valued,
challenged,
and empowered to achieve.
Building on our rich tradition of excellence and the dedication of our PA community, these are great days to be a Bruin.
And the initiatives outlined in this strategic plan ensure that the future looks bright for our current and future Bruins.
Pulaski Academy has had a generational impact on our family. I'm an alum. My siblings are Pulaski Academy alums. We've got children, our 4 children, my nieces and nephew. It's just an amazing way that Pulaski Academy has impacted us.
I'm a product of public schools, so coming to a private school, our children in a private school was new for me. And I thought, well, we're paying this tuition. Shouldn't that cover everything? And what I've realized as I have been a father here of 4 is that tuition does not pay for everything. It does not allow PA to achieve the excellence and the #1 ranking that we enjoy right now as a private school in Arkansas. It takes the annual fund or the Fund for Excellence for us to achieve excellence in every moment.
To align our annual giving campaign with the mission of the school, we've renamed it the Fund for Excellence. This fund provides vital resources that go directly to what matters most, our students. It supports our dedicated faculty, staff, and coaches, ensuring they have the tools and training to deliver the very best education and mentorship possible. The FFE funds innovations in the classrooms, arts, and athletics, enhancing every aspect of the student experience.
Our goal as chairs of the Fund for Excellence is 100% participation at any level. For those who can give more, but for those who can only give a little, give a little. The goal is 100% investment by every family at Pulaski Academy.
Your gift to the Fund for Excellence is more than support. It's an investment in the daily excellence our students experience today and the leaders they will become tomorrow. Thank you for supporting PA, and thank you for giving to the Fund for Excellence.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric, baby, when I turn it on. Off to my city, off to my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, and everything goes. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you.
The doctors at Millennium Chiropractic Sports Medicine and Rehab, Amanda Clinic, are proud to partner with Fayetteville High School to provide expert, compassionate care to young athletes. Doctors Stephen Whitelaw, Eric Walker, Bobby Pritchett, David Sitz, and Alex Woods are certified chiropractic sports physicians. If sports are an important part of your life, you owe it to yourself to work with sports experts for your health and well-being. And if mom or dad has an injury, Millennium Chiropractic cares for people of all ages. From backaches to injury recovery, they have your back. Now located in Johnson across from Pizzeria Ruby.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy, but with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot, because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise, to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Get your taste buds ready, because we're bringing all the drip and none of the drum with our new sauced and tossed tender bites. They're juicy, crisp, and sauced like a boss. Bite into your new obsession. Only at Slim Chickens.
A warm first day greeting from an experienced and dedicated classroom teacher.
Instruction and curriculum that ignite a student's passion for learning from early childhood through graduation.
Fine arts, athletics, and extracurricular activities that expand our students' horizons and enrich their lives. These are just a few of the reasons why our faculty, parents, students, alumni are passionate about the Pulaski Academy mission.
Based on extensive feedback from parents, faculty, and alumni, the board led the charge in developing a new strategic plan and mission statement to guide the investments we will make in PA's people, programs, and facilities for years to come. We invite you to review the strategic plan and discover how ensuring faculty and staff excellence, transforming and renewing our campus, and furthering the standard of excellence of our fine arts, athletics, college counseling, student wellness, and other programs will ensure that we are well prepared to serve and support present and future Bruins.
We have also developed a new mission statement, one that captures the essence of our exceptional school and the aspirations that we hold for each student.
We are an academic community
dedicated to excellence,
where each student is valued,
challenged,
and empowered to achieve.
Building on our rich tradition of excellence and the dedication of our PA community, these are great days to be a Bruin.
And the initiatives outlined in this strategic plan ensure that the future looks bright for our current and future Bruins.
And hello, everybody. Welcome back for second half coverage of the first round of the 7A playoffs between your Pulaski Academy Bruins and the Fayetteville Purple Dogs. 41-8 our score here from Fayetteville, Arkansas. And, guys, what a first half it was.
For Fayetteville, no doubt, yeah. They really came out rolling. You know, we saw another, for the most part, pretty good start by PA as far as moving the ball down the field, but then that first interception, things just kind of started to domino from there. You had the great kick return from Gittins that got it to around midfield. Then PA got their lone score off of that. But other than that, guys, I mean, Fayetteville, there's nothing much more to say than they've just flexed their muscle.
Yeah, I don't really know what to add other than we were talking about other scores around the league. I kind of want to just shift to talking about other scores around the league.
Let's talk about those scores.
I was looking at Hootens.com during the break, and one that stands out to me, first off, we were talking about North Little Rock 21, Bentonville West 20.
You know, one thing that's been kind of the narrative in a way, I don't know if maybe not a narrative, but just kind of what we've seen this season, it's like the Central has the best team overall in Bryant, but the West as a whole, when you think about 1 through 4, maybe 1 through 5, has been a little bit deeper there with West coming on this year, Rogers having a great season. But then again, I talked earlier about, just at the beginning, seeding is just a number. Mm-hmm. And Brad Bolding, he's a 3-time state champion head coach coming off that three-peat again at Parkview and had obviously a great run at North Little Rock that first time from 2007 to 2015. So anything can happen postseason.
Looking at the top half of the bracket, we see Tristan's alma mater playing Springdale, but getting crushed by the Bulldogs.
They are.
Up by, 21? Up by 21 in the third quarter, so Springdale looking to move ahead there. And I also see Little Rock Christian sneakily with a lead on Harbor down at the bottom of the bracket. So maybe Christian has a little momentum going into the playoffs and may sneak out a win there. So
and starting a new quarterback. I say a new quarterback. I guess this will be his 4th start, Elijah Robertson, who had a good game last week against us. Yeah, Coach Grimmett, man, he's really I've had a feeling Little Rock Christian will be pretty good this year, but I would say they've surpassed expectations. He's done a good job there in his second season.
Yeah, they finished 7-3? Was that what they finished? 7-3, and then now they're looking to maybe get an 8th win here in the playoffs.
There you see quarterback Aaron Orgel, who didn't have the best of start to this playoff game and looks to right some of the wrongs in the second half of this one as we come into the game. 41-8 the score. Fayetteville will get the ball to start the second half as PA received it first. But, gentlemen, other than scoring more points than the other team, what does PA need to do to get back into this one?
I think the biggest thing here, because once it goes to obviously right now Fayetteville is in complete control, and you just have to look at the scoreboard to see that. But you just got to make sure that you keep away from that running clock. If they get up 35 points, then which is obviously very close to that, then that's when that clock will just keep going with the sportsmanship rule. So that's the main thing. You just got to make sure that you counter with some points first from what they've done in the first half.
Score more points and don't let them score as many points, Tristan, don't you know? That's how it works.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
You're lucky you drove.
I'd
have left you here.
I don't have much to add there other than, you're essentially playing for pride a little bit. What are the coaches going to think of you as we go into the next season and then through the off season? Kids can show some fight and some grit and some team mentality here if they want, and put a good light on themselves.
With the kickoff here, we'll officially start the second half in this one. It's going to be an onside. Recovered by Fayetteville, so we'll see Hank Hendricks and his offense come back out onto the field to start this second half. And, Blake, I got to ask, before we get ready for this first possession, what's it like in the offseason as not a head coach, but as a coach, maybe not finishing the season the way you initially wanted it to be?
Well, honestly, I think it makes it a lot easier for you guys to focus a little bit. Sometimes, we got in the habit of winning a few championships in a row, and to me that was way harder of kids think they're so good. They won, the number one team in the state.
Got a massive target on your back.
Right, and you really have to dig into them to get them to really work hard and focus and find things to improve on. To me, with a season like this, you got all sorts of stuff to improve on. It should be really easy to go into the offseason if you have some motivation from the coaches and find stuff to work on.
First play is going to be a handoff, and we're going to pick up right where we left off for number 2, Caleb Johnson, as he has a monster gain on that play.
Just right up the middle. Another great push from that offensive line right up there in the middle.
Yeah, tackle there by Sam Hurtado, but, again, you don't want your safeties making a ton of plays like that because that means they've run a long way.
Hendricks going to fake the handoff, throws it deep towards the end zone, and he doesn't haul it in. Incomplete. Second down coming up here for the Dogs.
A good one-on-one coverage there by Hartford Lowe against a really, really good receiver.
Yeah, we talked about Hartford kind of sparking at the beginning of the year with all those interceptions and hasn't had one in a little bit, but, great coverage there, perfect position. That ball was just going to have to be an absolute dime to the corner if it was going to touch the receiver's hands.
2nd and 10. Hendricks will drop back, throws a receiver screen. Have room to run as he's tackled with enough for the first down. That's Charles Whitlow with the reception.
Fayetteville not in any kind of rush. No need to be.
Hendricks going to call the snap, throws it again to number 5, Charles Whitlow.
Back-to-back screens to Whitlow.
Max Burns and Max Allison combining on that tackle for a decent stop. Only picked up about 3 or 4 yards. But, again, if you're Fayetteville, you're in such control here. You're totally cool with a short catch and a 4-yard gain on first down.
They're in the Caldwell Toyota red zone, 2nd and 7. Hendricks hands it off again. Jackson on the rush. They're finally going to blow the play dead. He may have gotten enough of the first down.
Rylan Ussery held on to him and finally called it dead.
Just short of that first down line, 3rd and 1. Bulldogs have been driving, but all it takes is one bad snap, one bobbled handoff or something to have a negative play and give you a chance to get the stop here. So never give up on a drive like this.
So 3rd and 1. Hendricks going to hand it off. He finds a running lane. It'll have enough for the first down and then some. It'll be 1st and goal. Fayetteville's knocking on the door of the end zone.
As I said that last play, I thought to myself, man, Fayetteville's just – they haven't even really given many mistakes or any opportunities for PA to capitalize on, really. I can't think – maybe one throw of Hendricks's that was kind of in our secondary's hands that we dropped, but outside of that.
Hands it off to Jackson once again. Fights for extra yardage near the sideline. Doesn't get in for the touchdown, so it'll be 2nd and goal coming up for the Fayetteville Purple Dogs here.
Well, and to your point, Blake, I said earlier that Hendricks, those first couple of drives was a little bit off target on a few throws, and I had made the point that he hadn't settled in yet. And right after that was when it really turned on.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Whew. 1 yard away.
Hendricks will call for the snap. He'll keep it himself, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Fayetteville.
And that will invoke the sportsmanship rule.
Well, guess there's a tornado in Fayetteville.
Yeah, and I would name this tornado Purple Dog.
You could have done better.
Hey.
That kick is up, and the kick is going to be good. So 48-8 with 9:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And, Kyle, you know I love you.
Well, you tell me what's better, Tristan. I'm kidding. No,
Purple NATO.
Yeah, Purple NATO.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's that CAC education, man. What can I say?
Look, at a time like this, all jokes are welcome around here. I'll take anything.
Well, I'll tell you what. Talking about positivity, we always kind of mess around how I find the silver linings.
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to just our audience throughout the season. We've gotten a lot of really great feedback. I know we got people watching in Hawaii, Tennessee, Texas, all over the country. I think there was actually, I heard one maybe in Europe, so overseas. Man, we've gotten a lot of great support this year. I know it hasn't been on paper what we've wanted, but man, we've gotten a lot of great support. It has been a lot of fun, and it happens.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say, just shout out to the PA administration for putting this on, because I mean, it is, like you said, all these people around the country, grandparents or other family members that are around the country. The PA school has invested in all this equipment that we have out here, and gotten to where this stream can get out to the world on YouTube. So that's pretty cool.
That kickoff's going to go over the head of Bryce Gittins. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pulaski Academy Bruins on the 20. But, to you guys' credit, like you were talking about our great audience, the great support from the administration, the coaching staff, and likewise. But The one man that kind of puts this all together, well, not kind of, he does put it all together, is Mr. William Watkins.
No doubt.
There you go. Shout out to the producer.
The heart and soul of the Natural State Sports Network.
Yeah. We'll get him on camera one day. I think he's scared right now. He don't want to be on camera, but at some point, maybe the next year or so, we're going to get the guy for a cameo.
I think he said next year he's going to hire a producer and he's going to do sidelines.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Down to you, Will the Thrill.
I would love that.
Then Orgel throws it to Chase, who pitches it to Javion.
Nothing wrong with that. Last game of the year, Bob. Can't hold anything back now.
I know.
Thank you for that. I don't know if Tristan was old enough for that one.
No.
Oh, my God. Old guys unite. There we go.
That's right.
Come on.
You haven't seen The Water Boy?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Okay.
It's like
Joe
what,
Montana.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm following you. I really wasn't paying attention to what you guys were saying if you want to know the truth.
Joe Montana was a quarterback, you idiot.
No.
Waterboy is easily top 5 football movies of all time.
Okay, there we go.
Javion gets that reception. Enough for the second and manageable. So it'll be 2nd and 2 from the 39-yard line. Orgel surveys the field, throws it off his back foot to Greathouse. Mason Greathouse tries to get near the 50, but it'll be brought down, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
So you'll see that clock continue to roll like we talked about.
Orgel's going to keep it himself. Finds a running lane that will be brought down. 2nd down coming up here for PA.
Ran into a little bit of a wall there and bounced out.
Orgel looks near the sideline, just couldn't find Javion, incomplete. 3rd down coming up now for PA. Orgel's going to drop back, throws it to Chase Hancock. Short of the first down marker, but it'll make it 4th and approximately 1 or 2.
It was C.J. Bailey, the sophomore defensive back on the tackle.
I was a yard short. It's 4th and 3. Fayetteville's going to shift over to their D-line. Orgel throws it deep. Incomplete. Batted down, intended for William Swoboda. It's another turnover on downs, and Fayetteville brings back out their offense.
Future Razorback Kendrick Williams with the PBU. One of the few still committed to Razorbacks for the 2026 class. I think we've got, or they've got, I was got to get out of that habit of saying we. They've got 12 right now. When Sam Pittman got fired, they had 27 committed. They're down to 12 right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a rebuilding season and a rebuilding offseason for whoever they end up choosing as the head hog.
Well, hopefully they'll lose the remaining 12. So 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. That's going to be brought in enough for the first down. Tries to juke away. Does get away from J. Ricks Abernathy.
Tristan, I think you just got fired mid-play.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Well, you know, you got to think about after we get this win against LSU, how many new recruits we're going to have just from that, simply enough.
Stealing one in Tiger Stadium.
There is an injured PA Bruin on the field. What I was going to say before Will muted me.
Oh, there he is.
let you live in that dream there, bud.
I'll tell you what scares me about LSU is Harold. We talked about this on the way up. Harold Perkins, their linebacker / edge. He always has the game of his life. He played really well against Alabama last week. Like one of the better games he's had at LSU. Of course, he was banged up last year, but like his other 2 best games were in 22 and 23 against Arkansas, and so. That's really scary, but man, you just 2 interim coaches.
Yeah,
you don't know.
It's an interesting matchup with 2 interim coaches, and realistically nowadays, kids that are on the field are probably playing for their next team.
Oh, no
and
question.
Really kind of putting some film out.
And that's one thing I will say. Petrino has probably done a better job of, like that's one of the things that he has done an exceptional job of making these kids understand. Look, you might not like this situation. Nobody really does. Nobody likes to lose. Nobody likes to lose coaches. But what you do, your marketing, you kept talking about that, making yourselves marketable. So hadn't had one hit the portal since.
Yeah, and it's obviously, in game you can get out there and make a play, but also in practice, because oftentimes coaches are talking and they're probably going to talk to Coach Petrino. Like, hey, how was this kid in practice? He's talking about coming over here, and so definitely could be some ways to stand out.
1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Going to hand the ball off. Burst of speed up the sideline. It's going to be Terrence Garden on the rush.
Chase Hancock in there at corner. Haven't seen that, I don't think, all year. Maybe in some long yardage situations, but coming in for Jay after the injury.
Whatever it takes.
There you go. It's the first time we said it.
So 2nd and short. Hendricks will call for the snap. Throws it. Room to run before he's tackled from behind. It's Avin on the reception. I have 2 19s on my roster.
Yeah,
Fayetteville's got a lot. Them and Bryant have a lot of duplicates. I noticed that this year. That's, pretty typical. Noticed that in the 2021 state championship as well.
Just look at all these bodies down here. I don't know what position group that is on the TV, but there's about 30 of them.
Throws it to the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. I'm assuming it's intended for Avant again.
Fayetteville continuing to try to score, not calling out the Dogs just yet. Which I have no problem with. Look, I stand by one of those things. If you don't like what we're doing, stop it.
Yeah, and PA's got their starters out there too.
Yeah.
I would like to probably see some backups come in here in the mid 4th quarter as we're winding it down, just to get everybody a chance to say they got into a playoff game and whatnot. Nice tackle there. Burns coming through.
Well, and guys, you've talked about the outlook to next season, but you really got to look down the roster for PA and remember who they are retaining for the next season.
Mm-hmm. So many sophomores. I mean, we talked about it all year, but just the entire linebacker core is sophomores. You got a freshman defensive lineman out there. Your secondary, you're going to have some people coming back. So plenty to look forward to. It's just the morale aspect. You got to stay together and keep working in the offseason to get better.
Hendricks throws it near the sideline, doesn't bring it in, incomplete. Oh, he got sacked. I saw the ball come out of his hands.
Yeah, I think he did. They're calling it incomplete. I don't know if it got batted down immediately or that was a weird play.
I was going to say, I thought he threw it, but then again, my eyes are playing tricks on me. Guess it's time to go get my eyes checked for new glasses.
We got a replay in the books or maybe not.
Yeah. I guess our producer's too busy looking up the John Gruden rumors.
Here we go. He woke back up. Let's see. Balled it.
Oh, it did get tipped. Okay.
And he caught it again almost. The quarterback almost caught it.
The kick is up, and the kick is going to be good. So with 3:30 and ticking remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Dogs have gotten over the 50 mark. They lead at 51-8.
Yeah, I'm with you, Blake. At this point, especially once we get into the 4th quarter, maybe get some guys in and get some more reps. And, talking about those off seasons, I go back to what I was saying earlier. When we got run by Warren, we came back from Christmas break, and we had 42-0 plastered everywhere all over the locker room.
Yeah.
All over the locker room, all over the weight room. And you talk about that, just that drive that it gives you. You're in the weight room and – one more rep on bench or one more rep on leg press. Or,
it's easy motivation, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we wait the kickoff here from Fayetteville Special Teams Unit.
Woo-hoo.
Song's in the best Madden of all time.
Uh-oh, that's live.
So ball doesn't go into the end zones. Gitten's going to try to make chicken salad there.
I don't think you said the full quote, but probably good you didn't.
Family friendly, family friendly.
If you know, you know. We'll leave it there.
Chicken scraps. Shout out to the music guy here at Fayetteville.
He's not quite as good as Chris Amsler.
Well, no,
but
no one
good.
can ever top it. But yes, he's doing a solid job. I like it. Speaking of my dad, I haven't checked out the old Parkview score tonight. I'm gonna look that up while we're.
Who are they playing tonight?
I think they were playing Maumelle, right?
It would not shock me to see a complete sweep by the South. I mean, I know that they're what is the score? What is it? 24-14 Fairview over Robinson right now. Or yes, Fairview over Robinson, right? Or did
Robinson took the lead back 24-14.
Got it.
So Robinson's up.
Rashawn Mitchell gets the carry, and he gets enough for the first down. Be his first touch of the game, first time he's even in the game.
Yeah, looks like Parkview's up 21-7 last Hooten's update. So Parkview going to possibly knock Maumelle out.
PI roofing penalty flag is going to come out in the area of encroachment by the defense.
Prior to the snap, offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
5-yard positive play. We'll take that.
Absolutely. Yeah, every little bit you can.
Whatever it takes.
You may have already called this out, but Caleb Sullivan and Rashawn Mitchell in the backfield now.
Sullivan's going to drop back deep, dumps it off to Mitchell on the screen. Mitchell trying to fight for the first down, and he gets enough.
This is the first time that we've seen Mitchell tonight, and I'll tell you, this young man, if he has a really good offseason, I think he could really explode in his junior year. Probably didn't have the sophomore year that he expected or wanted, but did some good things overall, and big chance to have a huge junior year.
Sullivan looks like he's going to keep it himself, and he's hit pretty hard, but he pops right back up. Second down coming up here for the Bruins, and down on the sideline for Fayetteville, it looks like Cade Rogers and Dorian Bowers are warming up at quarterback. So Hank Hendricks' day may be over. Sullivan's going to roll. Throws it to Mitchell. All of his passes this drive have gone to him.
Yeah, if I'm Casey Dick, I'm pulling everybody and resting them up for the big dog Bryant next week.
Yep, they got a big one staring them down. But if Fayetteville plays like this, clean, and the passing game's hitting like it did, I think they really do have a chance of knocking Bryant off.
Sullivan's going to pump fake. Throws it near the sideline. Incomplete. Just underthrew that one. Brings up a fourth down for the Bruins.
Yeah, you see a lot of Bulldogs coming in here. Sub is at the defensive line, and I know the secondary's got a couple backups in as well.
Sullivan's going to throw it in the middle. That's going to be caught by Greathouse. Greathouse burst his speed, 30, 20, looking to make a great play, and he's going to score in Fayetteville's house. Touchdown, Bruins.
Well, love to see them continue to fight. That's the biggest thing in these types of games is, and we've said it a few different times this year, that's when you haven't seen any quit with these Bruins, and just, again, getting those quality reps in.
Yeah, and especially a senior like that, Mason Greathouse, he knows this is his last game and not really going to play in college, so, something like that he takes pride in it.
Looks like they will go for two here.
I'm going to bring Orgel back in. Or are they?
Well.
Uno reverse.
Never mind. Yeah, that play clock's ticking down quick. 6, 5.
Can't decide who we want out there.
Sullivan's going to fake the flip, throw it. That's 2-point conversion will be good. Max Conine catches it. So our score with 23 seconds left to go in the third quarter of this one, 51-14, Dogs in front.
Dogs.
Well, that's how they have it on the scoreboard, DAWGS.
Whataburger, what a play. Speaking of Whataburger, the boys had that on the way in.
Yeah.
Fayetteville.
We did.
We're supporting the sponsors out there.
All thanks to Charles Sutherland Media.
You. So Tristan sees my first name on my credit card.
Cut that out, Will.
Yeah.
You got a mute button. Dump it.
Sorry,
Dump it.
Kyle. I couldn't help it.
When he said that earlier, I was just like, the first thing I thought was like, okay, my first name is nowhere to be found, like on social media, unless you really know me. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I saw your credit card.
To be fair, you did say I couldn't say it, so.
Oh, it's my name. But
ladies and gentlemen, when we get in the car, he may kill me. So if you don't see me after tonight.
No, I actually I went healthy and had my bunless burger.
Yeah, you did.
And
I was proud of you for that.
Man, I've been eating really healthy this week, and I feel amazing.
Well, you look amazing,
Kyle.
Kyle.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know about that, but.
Onside's going to be on the way here. We recovered by Fayetteville. They're going to try to get something out of it. They'd be forced out of bounds. 18 seconds left to go in the third quarter in this one. We're going to see who they bring in at quarterback. They were warming up two of their backups, but it looks like Hank Hendricks may be staying in at this one.
That's actually kind of surprising. I mean, not questioning Casey Dick or the staff by any means, but just –
one more handoff before the fourth quarter, probably. That's what I
Yeah.
see here. And then I bet you some of the other guys are going to get in for the fourth.
Oh, no, it actually looks like
He did come off instead of staying in the
Okay,
huddle.
I'm about to say, man, you've done your job. If I'm Fayetteville, I'm resting my guys and, like I said, getting ready for Bryant.
Cade Rogers in at quarterback now for the Dogs. Going to hand it off. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Going to lower his head and try to run over a Bruin. That's Terrence Garden on the carry. And that's likely going to be the end of the third quarter. So as we head to the fourth, our score, Fayetteville 51, Pulaski Academy 16.
And as we hit the quarter break there, let's go ahead and congratulations to Kayla Wang, the Caldwell Toyota Pulaski Academy Core Value Student of the Week. Kayla is a member of our senior class where she distinguishes herself through strong academics. She takes 6 AP classes and recently earned distinction as a National Merit semifinalist. Kayla's AP art teacher, Miss Kinder, describes Kayla as the strongest sculptor I have ever taught, who balances a cheerful tone with quiet humility. Congrats, Kayla, for earning the distinction of this week's Core Value Student of the Week.
Good job, Blake.
Thank you. Always fun to recognize some other athletes and other students around. And, another thing I was thinking about is this is not the end of Natural State Sports and PA's relationship. We're moving on into basketball season. Tristan, as I hear, is going to be doing the basketball games? Is that
yes,
right?
I will be doing play-by-play. We haven't locked in a color commentator yet.
Yeah,
but if we get the guy I want, we're going to have fun.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun regardless.
Home conference games only.
Yeah, Will the Thrill clarified home games, so don't get too excited out there, PA fans. You still got to go on the road and cheer for the Bruins yourself. Okay.
Pass is going to be batted down incomplete. Believe TJ Logan may have gotten back there.
But in getting to know you, Tristan, you kind of lean more towards a basketball guy. Am I right?
So I grew up playing football and loved football all my life, but growing up in Memphis.
Yeah, I was about to say, growing up in Memphis.
Yeah,
I went to Grizzlies. I went
Yeah.
to the Grizzly games for as long as I can remember and been watching them. So
Yeah, NEA, Memphis, that is basketball
really is.
territory right there.
Now, back in the good year 2009, I did win the city championship in Pop Warner football for the Colts. So, and I was the league MVP, might I add. And Will's old self said that was after he graduated high school. And the pass is going to be taken to the house. Touchdown Fayetteville as we were rambling about nonsense. Number 19, Jabron Event takes it to the house after breaking a plethora of tackles.
Yeah, really good play there. They got their second string in here and just really not skipping a beat. Really got to credit Mike Volarovich, their offensive coordinator. That's one thing that probably a lot of – if you follow high school football, you know it, but you got two head coaches on this. I know Volarovich is not the head coach here, but he was at Nashville, won a state championship, won over 76% of his games, and for whatever reason got let go there. But man, great offensive mind, exceptional coach, and they've got a lot of great coaches on this Fayetteville staff. But with Casey Dick, state champion, Volarovich, state champion, he's been really in his bag tonight.
Looks like Fayetteville will call it timeouts. There was a little bit confusion on the players that were supposed to be going out with the special teams unit. But Blake, back to your comment about me being a basketball guy. Like I said, I grew up watching the Grit and Grind Grizzlies.
Yeah,
love calling basketball. Called it at Cabot while I was in high school. Called some for, I think it was the 2A state tournament last year at Truman. So,
and you're doing that other basketball league just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the Truth basketball league with Steve Henson.
The Truth is fun. I've called some games with Steve for the Truth, and that's some fun basketball. It's kind of more Harlem stuff. The guy that runs it, Howard, he's from I think, is it Harlem? He's from somewhere up in that area, the Bronx, something. But it's that just not backyard, but like at the park, you play pickup games and call your own.
Tough
just
tough,
probably, gritty, yeah.
So what he's trying to say is when Kyle doesn't do it and go call the games, they call me. I'm like the last effort. I'm the last person they call.
Yeah, whatever.
The kick is up, and it's going to be good. So 58-16, our score. 11-11 left to go in the final quarter of play, but it's been a fun year.
Yeah,
it has.
I brought all that up to say I'm looking forward to having a solid broadcast for basketball because those guys and girls have not really had a great live stream broadcast over the last few years.
Yeah. And the girls just had a state championship run, state runner-up.
And as many games as there are throughout a basketball season, parents can't make it to every basketball game a lot of times, so it really does help, and grandparents for that instance too. There's so many games to make on Tuesday nights and Fridays, obviously. So it'll be really good to have that broadcast there.
Right.
Well, and y'all know I'm a football and baseball guy. It's kind of my first two sports. And I love softball, too. I'm a big softball guy. But there's something about basketball, man. I tell people this all the time. Like when you're down, like state championship games in Hot Springs, there's something about that environment of just being on press row and having the crowd all around you. It's just like a different kind of electric.
Yeah, and I feel like I always like the warm-ups right in front of you too. You you're right next to that 6'6" guy.
The only thing
that
kind
of about.
Well, and what gets scary sometimes is if the ball comes up. Like I've had a few times where I've had to catch the ball where it almost just obliterated my MacBook or my face. Not that my face isn't obliterated
the MacBook
already.
More importantly.
Yeah. Oh, I would try to save my MacBook well before my nose.
Well, and I can't discredit Williams Baptist University, who really gave me an opportunity to call a lot of their basketball last season, as Gittins has a burst of speed, tries to fight off two tackles, and be brought down near the 30. But, Williams Baptist last season, their women's team, they won the regular season, lost in the conference tournament. Their men didn't do as hot, but it was still fun to do regardless. I called it with my best friend Cooper Melder, and, of course, coming from Arkansas State last season, the women's program won their first conference championship in school history. Working the ESPN broadcast of those were a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Cooper has continued to pray. Tristan, you know this, but he reached out to me. I guess y'all's senior year at Cabot when I was actually pretty still fresh in media, and that was kind of one of the first kids. I don't know if I could say mentored, but kind of just gave some advice to, and glad to see that he's stuck with it.
Yep, he lives in Navarre, Florida, with his girlfriend Courtney.
Let's go to the beach.
And he works out of a news station in Mobile, Alabama. Sean gets the snap, hands it to Sullivan, who will then throw it back to Mitchell. That play's not going to go anywhere. It looks like it was busted as soon as the snap occurred. But back to your point, Kyle, Cooper was at some high school game about an hour outside of Mobile, but he's probably back at the station now.
Yeah. So is he like the just one of the sports anchors, I guess?
No, he's a news photographer.
Okay.
Or video, whatever you call it. He ain't there yet. Sullivan throws it. That pass can be incomplete off the hands of Max Conine.
I know that a lot of times, people say, like the narrative of, if you've got two quarterbacks, you've got none. But I'll tell you, you got two youngsters coming back. Of course, Orgel's going to be a junior and Sullivan will be a sophomore. It's good to have that kind of competition.
Yeah, I think so too.
Competition brings the best out of both players. This is 3rd and 15. Sullivan takes the snap, throws it to Javion. Javion hauls it in. Thought he might have dropped it. They'll mark him down near the 40. He'll be 4th and short coming up here for PA, and they're likely going to go for it.
Gain of 12 on the play. It's 4th down and 1.
Sullivan's going to keep it himself. Has enough for the first down, and he'll move the chains for the Bruins.
One point I was going to make about, we're talking about 2 quarterbacks, and I really think, me personally, I think that's kind of a way that football in general is going to start going, is to where you have more than one player on the field that you can trust to throw the ball, whether that's your running back that can kind of throw it just enough to almost be that next version of an RPO, is having 2 people out there, whether it's 2 real quarterbacks in the backfield that can go both ways. And, wow, just a lot of broken tackles there.
Yeah. Well, and you think about 2020. I mean, PA, Nolan Bruffett, and Charlie Pfizer. Guys, I'm sure Coach Kelly got exhausted with me asking him, because I asked him so many questions. Every time we had a presser, I would ask him about that, and it was new to him. He'd never done that before, but it worked out well. Charlie was a great team player. Nolan was a great team player. You know that. You were on the staff.
Yep. And it does take the right kids to be able to handle that, emotionally and stuff, as it gets incomplete over to Kason Smith. But yeah, we did have a lot of both quarterbacks in the backfield. One would catch the snap, but the other one would act like a running back coming across his face, may hand it off to him on a rollout that way, or the other quarterback could stand in the pocket or go the other way. So it just adds another variable that I think a lot of offenses are should start taking into account.
It'll be 3rd and 1. Sullivan takes a snap. Throws it over the middle to Max Conine. Couldn't find the target. Incomplete. We're going to have a 4th down here for Pulaski Academy.
Sullivan's legs have been really important on some of these 4th downs. He's picked up a couple on his own. Let's see if they got Javion in the backfield here, so they may go a lot of different ways.
It'll be 4th and 1. Javion's going to get the handoff. Room to run. Burst of speed. Still going. Javion might just walk into the end zone.
Oh.
Did he lose the ball? But he gets it back.
Oh, I think the ref was about to throw the fumble. So I'm glad he got back on that. Refs are talking.
I believe he crossed the goal line before the ball came out, and they're going to say touchdown Bruins.
That was close, though. I'm glad we don't have replay. Oh, well, we do have the internal replay, not official replay here. Just the PA Live replay. Great cut by Javion. Good burst of speed right there. And Will's going to take me back to live action.
You never know what you're going to get out of the throw. Sullivan looks, throws it. That's going to be.
Oh, my.
Hauled in by Conine for the 2-point conversion.
I think the refs know.
No, they're going to say incomplete. So at 7 minutes left to go in this one, it's 58-22 our score. Dogs on top.
That was a laser beam from Sullivan here. Let's check this out again. Watch Conine come in here from the outside. Rearing back, trying to find a really small window. A little late on the throw maybe, but it's in his hand. Oh, no, it does pop out. Well, no, I think it does hit the ground there. Great effort, though, by Conine. All right, Will's bringing me back to the Javion touchdown. Here we go.
And what a play it was.
Pulls a lineman. Javion busted out. Shows the burst of speed there. Into the secondary. Let's watch the ball. Oh, perfect slow-mo. Wow. That was loose. And then I don't know. Javion's out of bounds there. I don't know what the ruling would have been. He does recover it in bounds. Again, I will stamp. Glad we don't have official replay until the state championship.
Hey, all I know is it was a touchdown by the Bruins.
Yeah. I see the 6 points on the board.
Even if we did have official, hopefully Casey Dick would be kind to his fellow former Razorback and just let that one go. I'm saying that facetiously, of course, but no, I like Casey.
I like Casey's gas station too.
Yeah, like those as well.
Hey, well, you know, we were talking about this on the drive here, and we talked about it a little during halftime and before the game started. But when I came here, I want to say the year was 2019. I was still in high school with Cabot, and they were playing Fayetteville in the first round of the playoffs. We were actually in kind of like a makeshift deer stand / shed right above where it says state champions right across the field from us. It's not there no more, thankfully. But
yeah.
That onside's recovered by Fayetteville. But I'll tell you, that was I don't even think the smallest human in the world could have walked up there.
You could have been the last people to ever broadcast from there. You think about that?
Yeah, probably so. I've never done that. Like, I know when I was calling games for the Buzz, they had told stories about calling games from a deer stand. I think they called one from a deer stand in Poen one time.
I believe it.
And Poen, Arkansas.
Well, and then when I think it was when PA and Little Rock Christian played on ESPN, when Michael Dyer – was that PA and Little Rock Christian? Or was either when Michael Dyer and ESPN broadcast was there. So all the booths were taken up. So the Buzz had to be on a scissor lift.
I do remember
and see, that wouldn't have worked out. I'm terrified of heights. And so, like, not in press boxes with, like, enclosed, but there's no way I could have done that on a scissor lift. I would have been too scared.
So it looks like Bowers is in at quarterback. Hand it off to number 4, Drake Knock.
Another fun fact about that, I don't know if I've told you this one, Tristan, but that same game that was on ESPNU, I think it was actually on ESPNU.
Still
that
ESPN.
Game. But, yeah, still. Huge broadcast, all the big cameras and announcers are there and stuff. It downpoured. They didn't have turf at the time. They had a regular field. Downpoured the day or two before that to where it was solid mud. They brought in a helicopter to sit above the field pregame, like during the day, to try to dry it out even more.
Yep,
there was literally a helicopter sitting over the field to try to dry it out.
I've seen them try to do that with baseball and softball fields before.
Bowers hands it off to Knock.
But it got sloppy on ESPN.
Well, and I mentioned this
that.
when we were at Little Rock Christian last week in pregame. We were talking about just Blake. I mean, compared to what, not that they had necessarily bad facilities, but from what they had 15 years ago to now, I mean, it's just extravagant on that campus.
Oh yeah.
And before they got that turf, it was like the visitor side was basically just like a swamp.
Yes,
it just all filled up on that side. I remember when I was in 9th grade, we played over there, and it was like that after a storm.
So going back to the ESPNU game, was you on the coaching staff then?
No, I was actually in college then. That was probably 2009 or 10.
Because it was Dyer's senior year.
Yeah, I had just graduated, and I think it was the class right after I graduated that was playing them. And, I remember. I don't think I came back to it, so I think we were in the dorms watching it on ESPN, which is just crazy
insane
to think about.
I think I actually watched
right
that from my
in
dorm as well. If I'm not,
you
in UCA. I actually was thinking about going to it. I don't mean that was so long ago, but I watched it from my dorm room too.
With 4th down here for Fayetteville, they will punt the ball back to the Bruins. That's crazy. I never knew PA played on ESPNU. I'm about to YouTube that when I get home.
We had another game when I was coaching. We were on, I think it was ESPN2. We played Parkway, Bossier, Louisiana.
As the snap is bobbled, almost blocked. I think it did get tipped, but it'll still get a Fayetteville bounce.
Oh,
wow.
My, it's still going.
Wow. So this is a tall statement, but maybe the play of the game right there, just with what he had to do and that bounce.
That was an impressive play.
Special teams love.
Wow. So PA will get the ball deep in their own territory. Sorry for cutting you guys off on story time, but
what was I even talking about? Oh, the other ESPN game that was at home. You might be able to find it out there on ESPN YouTube or something. But yeah, that was a cool game. Again, it's just really cool to see the whole ESPN truck and the announcers and all the people they have working for them come. They bring the big cameras. They even had a drone, not a drone shot, but like a flywheel shot camera that they somehow rigged up. I don't know how.
Who called that game?
For ESPN?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. The guys weren't that famous. But
that was also back when ESPN was, a lot better.
It wasn't on YouTube TV back then, I'll tell you that much.
Which, thank God, that deal was officially taken care of tonight. I was one of the many who was affected over the past 2 weeks. I'm telling you, like I went with Fubo, and you can do you can do 2 screens. You can't do or at least I couldn't figure out the quad multi-view if you can. But I'm just glad to have that back because you get spoiled with it.
I know.
Sullivan will drop back in his own end zone. He'll run left, throw it near the sideline. It's going to be hauled in by Greathouse.
Flag down. PI roofing penalty flag.
So when this one goes final, Fayetteville will travel to Bryant to play the Hornets. And I believe they'll be playing the winner of Rogers and
whoever's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Is that Little Rock Christian that we were talking about?
Yeah, they'll be so Little Rock Christian. If they're still, if they end up finishing that, they'll go to Rogers. The winner of that will play the winner of Fayetteville Bryant.
I still see North Little Rock ahead of Bentonville West by 6. It's getting tighter though.
Man, that'd be huge for Brad Boulding.
Really
trying to get that program back after an unprecedented, really just North Little Rock. They've taken they're not really kind of. I mean, they have taken a dip since winning state championships and going to state titles, but coming off of a rare winless season, that'd be huge for those kids.
How about this score for you, Kyle? BB Badgers 22, Hot Springs Trojans 22.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow-wee.
So it is a first down for your Bruins after a defensive pass interference was called.
Well, I've talked about the depth of the South. Central been pretty dang good this year too. BB's been scrappy.
Coach Lucas will call a timeout here.
Looking at a few of these other 5A schools, Harding Academy getting blanked by Farmington, 37-0.
Yeah, Harding, kind of like PA, Harding Academy's just they haven't had a year that's typical of them. Of course, they're 2 classifications above where they should be, but that's another story for another day.
So what's the score of the Robinson game?
Last I saw, 24-14. Yeah, I think that might have been the last one. I was going to flip over to, you got a good one brewing down in, looks like in Searcy.
I saw that one. Lakeside and
42-34.
Well, and
going on.
Lakeside is a 3 seed. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, for real. They're a really good 3 seed.
The ref put 4 minutes, 10 seconds back on the game clock.
Senator's score I'm showing is 31-21 now. So Robinson's 37. We got Will on the update, 37-21. So they're pretty handily going to probably win that one. But after a kind of a rough start.
Like I said, there was 4:10 put on the clock, but the clock's running down now. Sullivan's going to throw a deep ball down the field to Swoboda. Incomplete.
Jeez.
No flags.
Good arm there.
Clock continues to run even on the incomplete pass.
Well, that's due to the sportsmanship rule. Sullivan's going to zip it to Rashawn, but Rashawn can bring it in incomplete. 3rd down coming out here for the Bruins. So Sullivan's going to throw it. That's going to be caught. Tries to fight for extra yardage, but couldn't. Tyler brings it in. Be 1st down for PA. Sullivan's going to roll. Pressure coming. Gets hit from behind and is sacked.
Stone Turnage. That's a good football name.
Got to play defense if your name's Stone Turnage.
There was a kid, Stone Blanton, I think was his name, from Mississippi or Madison Ridgeland that y'all played a few years back.
Sean gets the screen, and he'll be tackled for a loss. Turnage on the tackle again.
Back to back.
So 90 seconds remain in this one. Fayetteville looks to punch their ticket to the second round. Sullivan throws it. It's going to be hauled in. Not enough for the first.
Yeah, nice catch there by Wynn Wilson.
Is Wynn a junior? What class?
I think he is a junior, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I think he'll be back.
Junior, so he'll be back. He'll be good to have around. You got Bryce Gittins, still a junior. He'll come back. Javion Walker. Plenty of young guys out there that have got a lot of experience this year.
Sullivan throws one in the coverage. That's going to be brought in by Mitchell. Mitchell fights for the first down, and he'll get it.
And I tell you what, you've seen Sullivan rip a few really good ones across the middle. I've really liked what he's shown so far, especially as a freshman getting dumped into a playoff game like this.
Hands off to Rashawn. Rashawn bursts to speed, jukes back right, still going. Be tackled. There's 30 seconds remaining in this one. Likely got 2 plays left in this one. Sullivan hands it off to Mitchell again. Mitchell bursts to speed, still on his feet. He'll be tackled near the 20.
They're going to try to get one more off.
Might as well. Last play of the season.
Sullivan will drop back, throws it to the end zone, and it gets batted down. Incomplete, but the clock will hit 0, and Fayetteville will punch their ticket to the next round of the 7A playoffs as they travel to Bryan, Arkansas to take on the Hornets. Our final in this one, 58-22. Blake, Kyle, final remarks on the season?
Well, again, I want to thank everybody just for tuning in all season. I know, again, the record may not be the greatest, but we still had a lot of fun on here. I'm glad that, that we all got together and did this, and look forward to many more.
Yep, absolutely. Great crew in the booth, and looking forward to next year.
Yep. So one final time, reminding you our final in this one, Fayetteville 58, Pulaski Academy 22. I want to thank everybody for tuning in this season to PA Live, courtesy of the Natural State Sports Network. For Kyle Sutherland, Will Watkins, our fantastic crew, and Blake Amsler, I'm Tristan Harlen saying so long, good night, and as always, go Bruins.